Barbie your most favorite? Was that the epitome?
Probably. I would say yes. Oh, you can see my sneaky chupacabra sneaking in back
Hello,
there.
Chupacabra. When I was growing up, I didn't have a whole lot of other toys. I didn't get to play with Barbies, but I did get probably the most heavy metal present ever, the power cord. Alrighty, so I'm gonna get out of here. We gotta get back to this movie. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, heavy metal Alexa.
Oh man! All right, she's all right. We're out of time. There's no time to talk about what just happened. We have to get back into. There's no time.
Here we go, ready for the show. So, I wanted to ask you if you were going to recommend a follow-up movie to this. Say, if you were going to do a double feature grindhouse one night with somebody, what would you play after John dies at the end?
Oh man, wish I had some time to prepare for that. That's a very good question.
I know, it's almost like I only thought of the question in enough time that didn't give you enough time to think about it.
It's good. Yeah.
It's almost as if the premise of this was a bad idea.
You know what? I've got it.
Yeah?
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh my! Cabin in the Woods. You know who my favorite character in the Cabin in the Woods series or movie is?
The Merman.
The puzzle box. Well, anyway, that's all the time that we've got.
Hey, Heavy Metal Alexa, do you what'd you think about that new Roadhouse movie?
It looks like that whole movie doesn't wear its underwear.
I don't know what it means exactly, but I agree with it. The Talkover says this whole movie doesn't wear its underwear. And I know exactly what you're saying.
That's my line.
All right, we're gonna start it over. I'm gonna start it right here. Hello, it's the Talkover. There's a rite of passage in podcasting, and I'm really glad I got to share this with two of my dear friends, and that is when you don't record something. Man, to hear the deflated death in everyone's voice to re-say the same jokes over again. We're not going to do that today. Instead, what we're going to do is a double feature grindhouse science fiction double feature picture show. We're going to watch the Trip to the Moon, and then we're going to watch Back to the Future, and I'm going to try and remember all the jokes that I just said. Hello, Michael. Hello, Sarah.
Hello.
Man, I waited like 30 seconds before I told you guys it wasn't recording sound because I tried to think of what can I do. Could we just put it out silent?
Silent movie,
silent
podcast.
Do a silent podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they upshot
we could have just put text up over, start editing in every sentence.
Well, hey, sometimes an intro that's just a banger goes on into oblivion, and that's what happened to that one right now. So thanks for joining us. This is Trent's Tape Emporium and Laser Discovery versions of the Talkover. These are pre-recorded while I'm busy moving stuff and moving my back out of alignment. And I thought I'd be able to do this so that way I can put them up when I'm not around a live internet connection. And Michael and Sarah were good enough to join me for this. So thank you very much for giving your time to this. It's been incredible. Thank you doubly so for. I'm gonna buy you both a horse or something after this.
Thank you for having us. And as a favor, don't buy me a horse.
Yeah.
You got it. I can totally do that. I'm doing that right now.
I appreciate it.
Now, before we get into Back to the Future, we'll talk about what we're going to do first. You do not have to bring up another window or go anywhere. We're going to do Trip to the Moon. It's made in 1902, although everywhere else is 1903. It's public domain. You own it. I own it. Go. You should check it out. It's on YouTube. It's anywhere. But I'm just going to play it right here on the screen. It'll be like we go to the movie theater together, and it's silent, so it's like it's made for the Talkover. But we talked about this before. Michael, you had said you did see this in school.
Yeah, in a high school film drama, some sort of art class, we got to see it. Yeah.
That's crazy that you have like a film at least sort of film class in high school. I would have killed someone to have that.
Yeah, we were pretty lucky with that.
I didn't have anything till DVD was invented. And Sarah, you haven't checked it out, but you're at least aware of like some of the imagery and the iconography from it, right?
So no, I wasn't at all. But now I've watched the first 6 minutes, and so now I'm like, I'm gonna have a lot of really good thoughts.
You're
the first
prepared.
6 minutes, and then the rest of it is gonna be completely fresh.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll try and say some of the same stuff over again. You guys feel free to groan with me telling them again. I deserve it. So we're going to go ahead and kick it into gear. I've already made this overly long. So no countdown, no timers, no nothing. Here it goes. So, oh man, I said a lot of good information about it in the head of it too. That's unfortunate. So
well, one of the first things, we mentioned that the budget for this in 1902 with inflation, surprisingly, roughly $400,000.
Somewhere around there, yeah. It was 10,000 either francs or louis. I don't think francs existed
they
then.
would have had. I don't think they did either.
They're called Louis.
We also discussed the costuming. Because first of all, look at how fucking tight those outfits are. That is insane.
And also, shorts.
For real, that is a 2024 booty if I have ever seen one. Like, damn.
Well,
and also, so they're wizards, but also, what the fuck? They're not. Wizards? They barely ever do what they barely. This is the only wizard shit they do. Like,
because they transform their telescopes into stools.
Which maybe that's just science. Who knows? I'm starting to think these guys aren't wizards.
I want to point out too. I didn't notice this the first time. The guy who's speaking right now, when he walked in, I'm pretty sure I saw a radiation warning symbol on his robes.
Was it the radiation or the atomic? I didn't notice that.
Radiation, just the circle with the 3.
Interesting. Well, you guys did bring up Fallout, so
it wasn't super clear.
Oh, here's their map.
They're drawing his little drawing their rocket. Not even a rocket, as we'll see.
What are those?
In a few minutes.
Oh, okay. The women in the dunce caps are, or at least what looks like dunce caps, are taking notes, I believe.
Those are wizard hats. They're all wearing.
I think they're witches, and that's a tribunal because there's 3 of them.
Like and now the fighting is starting. Why are they fighting?
No, Mortimer, we're going to do it this way. No, I want to do it this way. Come up the stairs.
We should just teleport to the moon. No, let's get in a cannon and fire ourselves off ballistically.
I feel bad for calling them science wizards. I don't think they're supposed to be wizards.
I don't think they're accredited scientists at all either. I think they're just...
But they're wearing wizard robes, right? No, this is how scientists used to look, beards. Right?
Yeah, like I was about to name someone, but he is a wizard. What's the guy in Sword in the Stone?
Merlin.
He's a wizard.
Yeah, he's absolutely a wizard.
They're not scientists at all. Oh man.
Well, there's that whole thing about
1 or 2 of them look like barristers with the hair on the side.
Magic and science are just, or what is it? Magic is just science we don't understand yet.
Yeah.
Technology that's sufficiently.
Why are they changing clothes?
Because they're going away clothes. They're
putting their space.
Oh, right. I forgot these are their traveling clothes. Man, we need to go back to changing clothes every time we're going to change location.
Well, I bring up a lot that is French. I think the last 3 Musketeers really did a good job of making fun of that. Because the king of England was just like obsessed with what France was doing. We have salt and pepper on our tables because of France, because that's what they gave to the king of France. The phrase memento mori that everybody's throwing around everywhere nowadays, that was from the Dance Macabre that they did for the king of France. They're just more... America and France like each other, even though a lot of Americans want to like crap on them. But France gave us
them a lot.
Statue of Liberty.
Pretty important.
Yeah,
they helped us in the Revolutionary War so much.
Yeah, so I love the French.
I saw a great thing the other day that was like, oh God, I don't even remember what fucking meme format it was, but it was making fun of the fact that all we know the French for is, losing in World War II, and they get made fun of for that all the time, despite the fact that they have a quite successful history of warfare.
Yeah,
not only that, but
Napoleon was,
he was
terrifying.
There. Waterloo. I saw his stuff at a Smithsonian exhibit once. It's really fancy. We talked about all the pollution and everything, and I don't know if it is supposed to be future or then, or though I'm interested in the Victorian era because it's weird that everyone just decided to be goth.
Well, That's a good point.
Yeah.
But also, when did steam energy come out? Maybe that's supposed to be like in the future, steam is everywhere.
Well,
Oh, that's one of those fun ones where, like hundreds of years, and I can't remember the exact anything specific about this story, so it's not going to be as exciting. But like a very long time before we started steam engines,
Right.
someone harnessed steam energy, but they only used it to grind coffee, I think.
Yeah, it was something
like
quite
one
small.
specific machine. It was like in Silicon Valley, where he like made this software to find music and didn't realize that what's really valuable about it was the search algorithm. It's like, yeah, look, I made this sweet coffee machine. It's like, no, my man, you created steam power. That's way more important.
We talked about this
coffee
on the Big Bus episode, because the Big Bus is like airplane, but before airplane. And so I said that sometimes we make the can before we make the can opener. It just is how we do stuff. We talked about this earlier too. The rocket is just a bullet. Not even a good one. There's rivets that would not fly in a straight line.
Rivets that they were hammering in
yeah.
Also, though, I realized the women are wearing effectively like camp Navy outfits.
Yeah. They're like, I'm sure the military. Well, this would have probably. Oh, it's probably a military contract that built the giant bullet. Look at them all working together, and it's in. Good job,
I want
folks.
to point out again to the scale here of the people and the houses that they're standing on top of.
Oh yes,
that they're launching this off the
giant
top
houses.
of. Remember Mary Poppins? There's like a whole boat on top of a house, and he fires a cannon every day at a certain. I can't even walk outside at like normal to hours without my neighbor complaining. I don't know about firing a cannon off a roof. Bye.
By the way, we didn't get the chance to talk about how I was absolutely fucking horrified by this.
The moon. I am the moon.
Yeah, I do hope you can salvage the video of my face as I said, "What the fuck?" when this first happened, because my jaw was pretty far on the fucking ground.
That's gruesome too. Like the dripping down his mouth. That's his eye guts.
I'm fixing this in post. I can put it in your reaction while you're talking. I have that power because I'm out of time right now.
Yeah. It's a fourth dimensional podcast.
I like that it's so meta. The other one the other night was super meta. It's getting anyway, I need more drugs. I think it's funny that we still crash land on planets now. Like the moon, we can do a better descent. But like Mars is a controlled crash, and it's only gotten less and less violent over the years. But I like that. That's how. I mean, we still
we kind of like parachute out the important bit, right, and then we'll just let most of it.
It'll
fuck off.
Now. Mark Rober, the guy's got that huge YouTube channel, does the glitter bombs. He made the device. They're still using the same probes, and what happens is it separates, but it fires the other direction because that's how you leave, or that's how you make thrust is you expel energy. So like when you see a rocket, picture millions of tiny wrenches being thrown. So this thing goes the other way, and then it slows that down. And then there's also like reverse thrusters, and then they'll pop a parachute. They're just trying to get slow enough that a really good parachute, several will stop it, because it's got to go so damn fast. And then gravity kicks in. So here they are sleeping on the moon.
Yeah, they get to the moon, and within the first minute, nap time.
And it turns into like a variety show from the 70s.
Yes, I was wondering yes, that's exactly what it is.
There's stars.
Yeah, and then now also too, we didn't bring this up the first go round. What's the Smashing Pumpkins video?
Here. Is this what they're dreaming about?
No, that's where the snow comes from, Michael.
This is the various space gods raining down.
Saturn. Yeah, there you go.
We need to discuss the fact that asbestos is raining down upon them right now.
I had a shocked face when I found out they used that. You told me just a minute ago that's what they did in Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Oh my
People
God.
got ill after that movie, it turns out.
Yeah.
And that paint probably had fucking lead in it too. Who knows?
Well, if it tasted good, it did.
Wasn't that it was just allergic to a chemical in it? Or
I don't know.
I don't remember. There's just so many.
It wasn't a good time for anybody.
No.
Judy Garland was also on a lot of drugs.
Yeah, it's not a deep well for comedy.
Eric Voss at New Rockstars threw out a really good theory, I think. Well, I mean, it's based on another theory that there's two types of protagonists, ones that change the world and one that the world changes around them. But he throws it at, there's two types of American film, which isn't American, but two types of American film is a Wizard of Oz or a Citizen Kane. And this is 100% a Wizard of Oz. Just think of also, all the elements of it, and you can figure out what type of movie it is.
That's interesting. Also, I didn't realize the first time that he planted his umbrella and it turned into a mushroom.
Yeah, science
Oh, I
wizards.
missed that also, because everything around him is already mushrooms.
Look at this little moon
Yeah.
just freaking out.
Maybe it's a camouflage. It'll turn into anything.
I used to do that as
To
a party
hell!
trick, by the
You
way.
switch around on your butt or turn an
Oh, you
umbrella
can do
No,
that
put
walk?
my legs above my put my knee, like put my legs on my shoulders like
Mhm.
that, and
Mhm.
Like a contortionist.
yeah, because I
Contortionists are
was a
interesting.
very well put together person.
I used to be bendier too. I couldn't do that, but I'm nowhere near as bendy as I used to be. Yoga. I gotta start
I still
yoga.
can put my foot behind my head, but
Ooh.
I just don't bring it out at parties anymore because
You
I'm
put
in
it
my
on your resume?
30s.
Because I'd put it on my resume.
Yeah.
So I used this for one of the shorts here recently because there's so many people coming out, and I had like 7 extra seconds. I can only do them 60 seconds.
What?
That
It's
was
like-
incredible. They're taken to this
Uh-huh.
foreign court, and he just says no, screw it, and just pile drives their
Throws
king.
them to hell. Yeah, exactly.
Also, that guy just did like a fucking back handstand. That was
Bye.
This
But
is
that
right
guy
about
doesn't
where-
die there.
He got him that time. He's just killing him.
This is about where we realized that there was no audio, right?
Yeah. We
Yeah.
have audio this time.
So we're fresh
If
from
we
the,
don't, I'll never ask you to come on the show again, and I'll send you something better than a pony, which is pretty much anything. Now, this is where I take umbrage with the science, okay? You guys have had your time of talking about what you don't like. They know what gravity is. They didn't have to. I mean, I appreciate their moxie, but bye.
This is incredible.
Yeah, it looks really good, man. Like
It
if you get a
does.
good copy of it, this one, like I was saying, not as good, but like there's some really good ones out there, especially the ones that have been touched up or actually newer. And check this out. They understood to crash land in the ocean. That's how we came back from space for a long time when we
That's true.
Wait,
It was
so they
70
just fell
years
off
later.
the moon and landed back on Earth. Wow.
That's how you do it. It's up there
That makes
Huh.
and we're down here.
that makes sense. Yeah.
And they go pick them up. And what are they going to do in France after they pick up the space wizards? They're going to have a party.
Put them in
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a peppermint party.
They look like they're back in like fucking Switzerland, not France.
Party rock is in the house tonight.
Oh, what's that one?
Oh, all the
musical
Navy women.
About a city that comes into existence like once every 100 years or something.
No idea.
Atlantis?
No, I don't know.
El Dorado?
Those are just lost cities.
Yeah.
That might come to me later.
Well, I don't think that Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing video. I think that Millier did. So that's my standing theory. I do have a theory about
Doesn't
that.
convince you?
I believe we went to the moon. 100%. I believe we were told the truth. I just think that some of the footage we have has been doctored because there's a little too many conspiracy theories that make too much sense. Also, we lost the original. The stuff that everybody watched on TV was a camera pointed at a monitor because we didn't have the ability to send from the moon to everyone's TV.
Oh.
So, like, the reason that there's so many people. There it is. Just ends.
That's so beautiful.
Can rewind? Could you get a still of just that ending shot there of the statue?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how to share it with you. I could clip it out and send it. I'm sorry. It's just kind of like all go, no, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave this format.
Just a ridiculous. The guy had a giant Disney-sized hand that looked like a statue of Mickey from Fantasia.
They really didn't stay on that one long, did they? They were like, nope, gotta go. Well, what did you think of a trip to the moon?
I enjoyed it.
It
It was weird, but I enjoyed it.
I forgot how aggressive and violent they were when they get to the moon. They just murder so many moon people.
Yeah.
It's the first instinct.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they get there, kill them.
I mean, that guy was crawling around like a psycho. So
he
clearly
taught
they
them-
gotta kill him.
He taught them that to get to Earth, all they got to do is jump off that cliff. Now they know how to invade.
Oh,
Well, they gotta have a
but
space
they'll
bullet
die.
first. Yeah, they'll totally
Yeah.
die
Oh,
when
and
they hit
they'll
the
die
water.
when they hit
That's
the
true.
water.
That one that rode the back probably. Did it show him dead? Did he infiltrate?
We should make a part 2.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Trip
where
to
they
the Moon
invade
Part
France.
2, a trip to Earth.
We could make this. I have the
That is good.
technology. We could do this in a weekend, man. We just gotta make the costume. That's all
We're gonna need $400,000.
Yes.
This is what I think about the most when I think about it. You know, they're all stage actors, all the people. I can close you. Hang on. I was thinking about today how much electricity I used to just do that just now versus how much he would have used to show that. It's a lot more. But I think about the people that would have been in it, then they would have invited their friends and family, or they might have even had fans in the community that came a lot that would come out and see them perform. And then they go, hey, I was just in this. I mean, there was movie industry, but like there was probably enough people that had not just been to a movie. There's a lot of people that have never watched a live stream. There's a lot of people that's never listened to a podcast still to this day. And so imagine hitting up your grandma and being like, I was in this thing called a movie and I can show it to you. And she's like, well, is it everyone going to be performing? No, grandma, just come in and watch. And just, I can't imagine people being like, how did y'all get in that bullet or something like that? Because back then it would have looked incredibly real. It was so well made for the time. It's well made for now. But that was it. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was much better production than I thought it would be.
I'm glad you think that way. You own it. So now,
the way you said movie just now made me think of it, especially in that time, how ridiculous a word that is if you think about it a lot, because talkie seems like a funny word, but movie is the same thing.
Moving.
But for moving, it's a moving.
I think you were the first person I've ever heard to bring that up to me, and I was just like, I never thought about that way.
Yeah.
So it is. They moved
Actually,
it.
yeah, I remember when that happened.
Another one.
Funny
Just go on a tangent here. Fortify.
Okay.
Make it like a fort.
Yeah.
I thought fort came from. That makes sense.
I might have the etymology backwards, but it works now that
Sometimes
way.
we make the can before the can opener. Let's Castlify this. Well, we're gonna move on to the next one, and this is gonna be a little more like the traditional stuff. I've already put a timer up on the screen, I think it's a different font. I don't know what I did to that. Don't worry about it. I had to squish it. I'm having to. This is different. We're doing it live, but we're not. Go ahead and go find Back to the Future. Rent it somewhere. I don't have to rent it anywhere because I got the Japanese release Laserdisc of it, and I'm so stinking proud of this stupid thing. It's in mint condition. You can't have it. I don't want to tell you how much it cost. Anyway, it's not anywhere streaming right now. It might be by the time this is out, so use that Just Watch app. Not a sponsor, but hey, we could talk about it. Seriously, with like 5 minutes of talking, I can make your app better. Anyway, we're going to check it out over on Amazon. That way it'll sort of be synced up. I'm going to count 3, 2, 1, go. Everyone's going to click go on go. You can say synced with the timer. We're going to take a break at the hour mark for the 5 Ps, personal time, PPs and poo-poos. Come back, talk for a minute, finish up the movie. That's how the talk over goes. You guys got any questions before we get into it? I do before we do, because we talked a little bit about the movie in the never to be heard recording because it didn't get the audio.
The lost episode.
So Michael, neither of you've seen this movie. I guess Michael, I'll ask you first, because you do absorb like a ton of just wacko movies. Like you show me so many movies I've never even heard of before. But why not check out Back to the Future? Murphy.
I mean, no particular reason. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of contrarianism, you know, just how you get to a point where you've never seen it, so it's just a stupid point of personal pride for no good reason.
Yeah.
You know, like I've still never seen that because there's no good reason. I've never really been in the movie.
You're on trial.
Anytime I think about it, there's just something better I want to watch. I don't know.
Fair enough.
Something more familiar.
Sarah's saying kind of the same. You also, but you don't. We've talked about this before. You don't really like sci-fi. This is probably the worst episode I could have had you on for.
Oh yeah, I have a very complicated relationship with sci-fi. We have been attempting to, as if I'm going to therapy or something, we have been attempting to narrow in on what I do and don't like about sci-fi, because there's some stuff I really love. Like I would have thought I hated all sci-fi, and then we finally watched Alien, and I was like, "This is the best movie." I fucking love this movie.
Alien. That's crazy that you love that or like it.
I fucking love Alien.
There you go.
I'll upgrade it. I love it. I love horror movies though, so we were thinking that maybe that was kind of where
what
it
it
was
is.
going. But I also enjoyed Firefly,
I
the
love Firefly.
show.
Yeah. Oh, so
So
plucky.
love Fallout as well.
Mhm.
So maybe it's an aspect of enjoying westerns in space.
Love Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
But we never finished Battlestar Galactica.
If you get
Now-
through that, I'm gonna be impressed. I don't even fuck with the Battlestar, so that's cool, man.
So there's some things I do kind of like. I also, what's the one with is it The Day After Tomorrow, The Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise
yeah,
and
Edge of Tomorrow,
Edge of
Live,
Tomorrow.
Rinse, Repeat, Pray, Love, whatever it's called. It
Yes,
has like
I really
3
enjoy
actual
that
titles.
one.
I like that one too. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But war.
Well, that's time travel, man. We're in
It
it.
is. It is.
Hey.
I heard
So,
once
yeah.
that a good measure of, I can't remember where I heard this, that a good rule of thumb for a sci-fi movie to decide if it's good sci-fi is to ask, did it need to be sci-fi to tell that story?
Oh, well, which is good and which is bad? So like if it didn't need it to tell the story, is that good?
No, if it did need to be, if it's good sci-fi, if it did need to be sci-fi, like Battlestar Galactica is a great example of
It would
that,
have to
'cause,
be
like,
that.
yeah, because there's
Mhm.
no way, like it's humanity's been nuked down to 40,000 people and they're on the run from a alien that's really
Sure.
hard to
Like
do
it-
without making
how-
sci-fi.
Yeah, how integral to the plot it is. Because I think it's interesting because horror, I almost think, has to be opposite of that. I think, in my opinion, horror, oftentimes good horror is there's a normal human experience story happening, and then also this horrible thing happening that twists that entire story up. But yeah, very
Interesting.
different with sci-fi. But also, I love Fallout so very much, and I could talk about it for hours.
far are
So
you guys
everybody
into the
watch it.
season right
We
now?
finished it.
Yeah,
Oh,
dog.
it's so good.
They landed that plane, and knowing there's
Uh,
another season, I think
yeah.
they brought it home. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I just fucking loved it. Loved every second. And a little bit, so like I said, a little bit cowboy there, as the subtitles tell us. Woman yodeling or whatever the fuck every time Walt
Vocalist
Goggins
yodeling.
gets on
For the
screen.
Goulstein. Yeah.
that you like got me with the cowboy thing. I still to this day, because I was like, what is up with I ask a lot of every now and then I'll see a boy with something horse related. I'm like, why? You don't want that? And they're like, I don't. I'm like, why do you have it in? Anyway, well, so this story, it might possibly, I think it has to be science fiction because it is dealing with other stuff. But if you lay it out, it's really people dealing with sort of, I mean, I guess a lot of time travel movies deal with regret. I've liked time travel movies since I was a kid, and I've always thought I've romanticized the idea of going to another time and place. But also too, I think about it this way. I like living in different places. I've moved around a bunch my whole life. When I was a kid, as a child of divorce, I lived out of a bag. Every other weekend I was going at a minimum to my dad's house. So the idea of going somewhere and being someone different at another time is really exciting to me. But the exciting thing about this movie to me is that I want you to pay attention to this because we play D&D. We play a lot of D&D. Marty McFly is the greatest bard of all time. It's not just the music thing. He inspires every single person that he interacts with. In fact, they noticed that there's a flaw that he has you may have heard of before where people call him Chicken and he goes, nobody call me Chicken. That's not in this movie. They invented that for the second film because they realized he has no character flaws. He's perfect.
I was gonna say, is he a manic pixie dream girl?
Kind of. I mean, literally
He's a Marty Sue.
everybody that he touches gets a boner. Even the villain he sends into rage. He inspires everyone in this movie. And when you go through it and watch it that way, it's really quite charming. And there is a point that I want to talk about later that some people have said Crispin Glover was the one that perpetrated it. And that was at the point of the movie. Well, I'm not going to say it right now because it might spoil something. So we'll talk about it at the end of the movie. But I am going to slam him because I feel like it and I have the talking stick. So before I go into it any further, we said this in the other one. I'm going to reiterate. You don't have to love this one, man. Some people recommend movies wrong. Don't recommend Goonies to people if they're adults. Don't start them with Wes Anderson with Royal Tenenbaums. Start with Moonrise Kingdom. I'm just saying, you got to look for a hook in.
That might have been the first one I watched.
There you go. Well, hey, so let me ask you guys this. Have you seen Jurassic Park?
Yes.
Were you a kid or were you an adult when you saw it?
I was a kid when I saw Jurassic Park. I do want to rewatch it, and I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna fucking love it again, though.
It holds up. It looks incredible. It still looks
also,
incredible.
is that a
That was one of the
sci-fi
ones we had on
movie?
VHS.
Yeah, they clone dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Okay, you know what? I like it.
That,
Horror.
I can't
It is
think
horror.
of.
The
I'm
book is.
struggling to think of something that would be bad sci-fi on that scale.
Mhm.
So I don't know how much I would
Buckaroo
rely on that.
Banzai and the something from the other dimension. That movie
Yeah.
slaps. That's a good
Michael's
one.
trying to get me to watch Sunshine, and I fucking refuse. It looks
Oh,
so
watch
bad.
the trailer.
I was gonna say
Oh.
maybe Event Horizon.
Oh, don't
sci-fi.
show her that. Well,
Latest
horror.
I just
Do
watched
show her
Event
that.
Horizon a couple days ago for the first time, and I had heard some great things
Mhm.
about it. And maybe it's just like a Citizen Kane type movie where it doesn't really hold up today, but it was the first of its kind to do a lot of things. Maybe, I don't know, but it was just kind of just
It's not that far off
standard-
from Hellraiser when you think about it.
It was just like standard space madness horror. There was nothing too
The one to
surprising
not
about it.
watch, it came out around the same time as Sphere with Dustin Hoffman. It's damn near the same movie, but Event Horizon goes for it. I think you should show that to Sarah, because that is more of a horror movie, and that would fit into sort of that oeuvre.
I think it's Pandorum is the other one. We watched that together. Pandorum. I think if you're gonna watch
that
Event
with-
Horizon, just watch Pandorum. It's just
Okay.
a better.
Pandorum
version
was
of
okay, but
Space
also,
Madness.
so yeah, I like it was more that horror framing than
Or even a little
sci-fi.
bit Sunshine. I'm trying
Well-
to get her to watch Sunshine.
well,
because it looks bad and everyone's so sweaty.
I love it. I think it's really, really
I
good.
can't.
The
It's
trailer's
so
got that
gross.
Requiem for a something,
Oh.
the Requiem for a
Requiem
Dream
for
song.
Tower.
Yes, I've seen that trailer so many fucking times
Oh!
because Michael wants me to
June
watch the
Diane.
movie.
Judean
Well-
Raphael's dad watched that movie and thought Cillian Murphy was her the whole time he was watching it.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
I'm now
She said,
now
"I
I'm
bet on how
remembering
to
all the
describe it."
movies I refuse to watch that Michael's trying to get me to watch because he's
Blazing
given up on a
Saddles.
lot of them, and because there's a lot that I will eventually give in and then I enjoy, and then I'm like, no, but I won't watch these other ones.
If you guys
Uh,
watch Blazing Saddles and you can hit me up to, now we won't do it on the talkover, but I would actually like to. I think I have a couple of points about that I weirdly study that one a lot because it comes up in a lot of podcasts. There's a new podcast that just popped up. It's like, and I love them to death because this is three friends and they've never done it before, and they still sound sweet when they're on the microphone. And so I've been going in and like dropping, like gassing them up, like in comments, like, I really like this one. But they started with Blazing Saddles, and that's a bold move because it's a non-Tarantino heavy N-word usage movie. But I think that Gene Wilder and Clavon Little's relationship in it is one of the sweetest friendships in all of cinema. I think that I don't think any two people could have been so sweet, and it's really, really lovely. So I'd totally love to check it out. And I don't know a ton about the production of it, so I wouldn't be yakking the whole time. So
that is one he's trying to get me to watch. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
What was the one the other day you thought it was?
it's a fucking Brokeback Mountain.
Oh, right. Just mixing them up in your head.
Yes,
no
and I
reason.
get so embarrassed that I get them confused because why?
Which makes me wonder what you were thinking. Like, why? Why does my boyfriend keep pestering me to watch Brokeback Mountain with him?
I was at work at the factory one day, and like in the factory in Alabama, there's a lot of tough bros. And so I'm working next to my buddy Meat, and then Meat goes, he says,
His name is Meat.
Yeah, short for Demetrius. Meat goes, Meat goes, man, I watched that movie. He said, have you heard of that movie? Oh, buddy, that's the Joker that's gay with, who did he call the other one? Who did he call
Nightcrawler?
Jake? I think he called him Donnie Darko.
I
And
Donnie Darko and the Joker.
and he said that, and I was like, I was running a machine, and I looked at him. I just kept working. And I go, Brokeback Mountain, and he was like, yeah, and I was like, I've seen it. Did you watch it, Meat? And he goes, man, it was on TV, and I didn't know what was coming. I didn't know what was happening. And I go, well, when you figured it out, did you? He goes, well, I wanted to see how it ended. I was like, good for you, Meat. Yeah, man, good job, buddy. Yeah, it's progressive, buddy. Anyway,
There's a really great scene in The Other Two, which is a great show with Drew Tarver in it, who I adore.
Mhm.
Where a homophobic boss that he has is like, hey, I finally watched that movie Brokeback Mountain. That's like you, right? You're gay. And then he describes it, and it turns out he fucking rented gay porn, actually. Just watched gay porn and thought it was
You have to be
Brokeback
careful
Mountain.
when you recommend stuff, boys. Women, do whatever you want. Boys, talking to you, man. All right. Well, let's.
Oh my God, you just unlocked a fucking core memory, though, that a guy that I met on Tinder
Wow. Yeah.
a while back, obviously.
Like yesterday.
How is it? Anywho. This man was trying really hard to fumble a situation that shouldn't have been that hard to fucking fumble because we decided to watch, and by we I mean he recommended we watch Green Room when I came over.
Bad idea. That's
and then there was another guy who was watching American Psycho. No, it wasn't
you. We watched Green Room together at some point.
No, we have not watched it together.
We're getting into dangerous territory with this, folks. Listen, if you need movie recommends for dates, hit me up. I can tell you the worst movie to take somebody on a date with. A buddy of mine I used to podcast with named Bill took a first date to see Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Still.
I mean, there's so many easy bad options. Antichrist.
Yeah, I don't know.
You and I watched Captain Underpants one of the first times we hung out.
Good.
So
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into this movie because I think this movie would be a good date movie. That was not a veiled attempt at a segue. It just, I do. I think this movie is quite lovely. I think when it was made, it still had a lot of the old, filmmaking techniques. I mean, it's Zemeckis, it's Spielberg. The soundtrack's incredible. There's a thing in the music I want you to listen for that I call the crinkle tinkles. And if you hear it, when I hear that, I get goosebumps. This movie is not one of my top 10 because I don't know if I said that in the lost version of this or not, but I can't pick which arm I like the most. This movie, I've never known a time when I didn't know this movie. So I don't know how to separate from it, but talking about it for so many years with people, I think it holds up. I think it holds up as well as a Jurassic Park. I think it holds up like an Indiana Jones holds up. I think it holds up like maybe a Jaws. I think Jaws is a little didactic.
Do you want to, when's the last time you watched Temple of Doom?
When I say Indiana Jones, I'm referring to Lost Ark and Last Crusade. No one brings up Temple. We're not psychopaths here.
I'm just saying.
Or Crystal Skull, or whatever the too old for TV one is that's now.
I have a request to do a future episode with you for the first Steven Spielberg movie, Duel.
Yeah, the truck movie.
You've seen that?
Yeah, I have. Hell yeah, we'll do that. I would love to talk over. That's a good one to talk over. Not a lot of dialogue.
It's very good too. Michael and I watched it together, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Well, everybody, go ahead and cue up Back to the Future. I'm going to give it a 3, 2, 1, go. We're all click go on go. I got a timer on the screen. You know the rules. You know how it goes. 3, 2, 1, go. I almost didn't have my hand on it. I got it. I have
Star Wars?
Many mice up here.
That's the... Sorry,
make sure it's good.
We're not in space, Sarah. It's the universal.
I just realized the biggest sci-fi shit I refuse to watch is Star Wars. Yeah. I'm a hater. I am such a strong fucking hater of Star Wars.
You enjoyed Rogue One, and
I did.
I love Rogue. People hate Rogue One. I love Rogue One. I like Rogue One as Solo. Yeah,
Rogue One's my favorite Star Wars thing.
I also rammed against fucking Andor so hard that I had to stop because it was making both of us be in a bad mood.
I understand liking Andor, 100%.
It's a time travel movie.
I know, it's like he's obsessed with time. This is the same setup that like Gone in 60 Seconds 3 remake apes. Sahara does. They ape this. This is a good way to tell a story.
Something that aped this. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's a good intro, man.
Thompson.
That's foreshadowing.
Is Michael okay? Who's the Ferris Bueller guy?
Off the clock.
Matthew Broderick.
Okay, not
Mr. Parker.
Michael J. Fox. Okay.
No.
I get this movie confused with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Why? No fucking clue.
I can do the entire movie. I just had a conversation with a friend of mine that I always thought that they were Sloan. They were a Cameron this whole time, and I didn't know they were a Cameron because I'm a Ferris Bueller. I've been treating them terribly all this time.
That newspaper, it doesn't look like Brown is a surname. It looked like it was just poorly describing the house as a brown mansion.
Yeah.
Brown house.
Yep. They were the Von Brauns when they first came there. His dad was a judge. You get none of that in the movie.
Guys, remember Hot Pots? Or not Hot Plates, I mean.
He's so scattered. He doesn't even
look at this. I like this clock. Flick.
Huh?
And you could do that with the old TVs because they had the turning knobs.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. This is some foreshadowing. Adi.
How many little... I also love mysteries, so I might love this just because of little connections I get to make, because that's my favorite.
Well, can you put together what's going on here? The toast has been toasted several times. You can't toast.
So Doc Brown's dead.
The whole time.
Is that guy still alive?
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd?
He was in Red. Not Red. Well, he was in Nobody was, I think, the last thing he was in.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, he was so good in Nobody.
He might have done something since then. But he's been going to
great,
like stuff for the you know, they have the play of this now. I want to see it. I think it would be a lot of fun. Dean Cundy, like legendary DP, man. I'm trying to remember what I just saw something that he did. Dog,
Gross.
you putting together this mystery here. Well, it was the 80s. 80s was real gross.
It was.
I assure you. Because I was born this year, I think. No, wait, is that 84? I'm going to double check. Maybe 85.
How much cocaine do you think was consumed in the making of this movie? Like, if you had to rate it compared to other Spielbergs.
So, do you want to know with the deal with Michael J. Fox? He was still doing Family Ties time. Look at that. He was still doing Family Ties because that was a big opportunity for him, and he really wanted to do this movie. They put Eric Stoltz in it, but there's scenes.
This
of
is the Eric Stoltz one.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember if it was this or Ferris Bueller.
Different. By the way, this is what it looks like when I turn on the Talkover every time.
Yeah, I have absolutely heard about that because apparently it's like a good chunk of the movie you can see with Stoltz in it.
About a guitar, right?
I don't know. Is he? Instruments or mic? Oh, look at this little tiny little baby guitar. I want one so bad. It just has a volume control. That's it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this little thing. He's so cool.
It's the ukulele of guitars. Oh my god.
They would put him in a van and drive him to like across country to go shoot both this and Family Ties, and he would sleep in the back of the van. Like they'd give him a mattress.
Yeah. He's dead now.
Yep, that's it. Movie's over. They got to go back in time to save him.
What was the computer animated movie recently about Soul?
Oh, I haven't seen that.
I was watching it, and there's a moment in the first 2 minutes, because the premise of the movie is that he dies, and it's about his soul going through the afterlife, and he like walks through a manhole, and I had that reaction that I just had there, like, oh, so that guy's dead now, thinking I was being sarcastic because that happens in movies and people just walk on, but no, he was dead. That was him dying. I was like, oh right, that is actually the premise here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a great way that's a real bummer of a start. I kind of want to live it like this. There's a part of me that wants to live this way. Just one room.
How old is McFly supposed to be?
High schooler. So senior, 17, 18.
How old is he actually?
Maybe 20, maybe 21. Like only if he's real young.
Okay, he looks a little older than that.
24, 23, 24.
Okay. Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. But he looked like this through Secret of My Success and Doc Hollywood, and even The Hard Way, he still looks like a kid.
The guy who plays Thaddeus in Fallout, John Pemberton, 42.
Oh,
really?
Whoa.
Oh, this song.
So this is Huey Lewis in the News, Power of Love. This is back when they made a song for a movie, which I think we've gotten away from, and it upsets me.
No.
That was made for
We have not gotten away from that, unless
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse, Megan Thee Stallion has done it a couple of times. Cardi B did one where there was actually a Halle Berry movie that had like a whole album made for it that
Monsters
Cardi B
Ball?
was on. Bet.
Catwoman.
I think it was Bet. But you're also right that we don't do it as much, and they aren't as good as this.
Look at this. This is the town
song,
square.
We performed this shit in show choir so much.
Let's go.
Oh yeah,
the name of this city
wasn't
is
good
Hill
enough
Valley.
Hill Valley, yeah, man.
That's
I know.
contradictory.
It's almost like Nowheresville, USA.
I cannot imagine. Do you think have you seen a school with graffiti on it like that?
Yeah. I went to
I'm
one.
so sheltered. I'm so
That's just such
sheltered from
basic
that.
graffiti,
That's in
too. That's just
Smeagol,
like
it looked
chalk.
like.
And this is California too,
yeah.
so that's another thing to keep in mind. So there's more different people from different areas coming into California, like people moving out there.
Did you say it said Smeagol?
It looks like it said Smeagol out there.
It's my graffiti. I didn't know if I could do a Smeagol accent until I tried it. I'll give it an F+.
I guess
100% of the shots.
I see why I thought it was Ferris Bueller's Day Off now.
Yeah, because high school.
Yeah.
He's a slacker.
And like
the principal. This principal
Also-
didn't go to jail for child porn. So
This actor did?
no, he did not. The one that was the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off is Jeffrey Jones, and then he went to jail because he didn't register as a sex offender.
I thought it was
And
Ben
yes.
yeah,
No, that's just the teacher.
that is Huey Lewis,
This is?
that guy with the megaphone.
Nice. He is
I don't have a lot of
surprisingly
behind the scenes
attractive.
stuff. It's just a handful. I
just think we need to talk about his suspenders. Sorry, I was afraid he was going to change before we get the chance to point out he's
Martin
wearing
McFly.
suspenders.
You mean that
Yes.
sexy outfit? Outfit gets better.
I think we need to bring back tight, pale jeans.
We did, dog. They're here, man. I'm seeing people with them.
God,
Acid
her
wash
hair's
and
so
stuff.
giant.
His outfit stays the same, but he switches one part of the ensemble a little bit later, and that makes it the Martin McFly.
Like, okay.
This guy.
This is so good though.
Like they're called the Pinheads, and they're playing like, and it's like a Huey Lewis song. There's not a lot of connective. He's out. He's reaching too hard. This Martin McFly, man.
That was a wild criticism too, that your music is too loud.
Yeah, man. They don't appreciate it.
I mean,
They don't
that's how they
understand
used to talk about rock, though.
Something we
Was
can
like,
control.
Aw.
I guess we do have to remember that this was the era of high schoolers looking like they were 40 years old and working at an office.
Oh, sure. I mean,
just because
yeah.
40-year-olds just still wear the same thing now.
Well, my opinion is that so
That's not true.
I've talked a lot about
60.
like really, really good there's Nudist magazine, adult bookstore. I'm such a child. They got my attention. I talk a lot about teen movies. This has never been a teen movie. This is a family movie, like kid, teen, adult. But teen movies, like I always go to like The Faculty or Varsity Blues because that's what I came up with. I think they were better in the late 90s, early 2000s, and a lot of them had more adult looking teenagers. And I think because a teenager wants to look like an adult. And so now we
that's a
put
good
people that
point.
look like kids or are kids in them. And then I look at those and I'm like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but I also don't know if the youth likes them or not. It doesn't sound like they do. Maybe they do. But yeah. I think he was on the Monster House episode, but I think Aiden kind of looks like young Michael J. Fox in the like the zone, the T zone, the eyes, the nose, the chin.
Who is she?
It's his girlfriend Jennifer, and she gets recast in the second movie by Elizabeth Shue.
Oh,
I bet who is this actress?
I have no
Actor,
idea.
actress.
I don't know anything she's done after this.
Elizabeth Shue.
Claudia Wells.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you, Amazon, for having that pop up.
Yeah, since we can't
Also,
do
I
it
respect the
live
hell
on
out of this
Chad.
protesting lady, where she's just like, "Hey, teenagers about to make out, give me some fucking
Save the
money."
clock tower.
Yeah, it's very important.
This is actually very important because on the flyer it shows what time. Well, I mean it's a clock too, so it shows when lightning struck it and broke it. And this town doesn't have enough money to even fix their own clock tower.
It's pretty bad.
Station
Yeah,
wagons.
they're sitting in front of the Department of Social Services and it's falling apart.
What's his button say?
Oh, that's a good question. I wonder if it's like a political one, like Reagan or something. Orgy is what the thing in the background's called. I'm not playing at the theater. Orgy American Style. Oh, I think that's I don't know if that's a porn or a regular
Also,
movie.
you know how
It's a
old this
porn.
movie is because there's no area code written down.
Nah. Well, they
You need that
everyone has to
area
now.
code.
It was a few years ago
Yeah.
they changed it. You're right.
There's a comedy from 10, 15 years ago called a Good Old Fashioned Orgy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. That's a really funny one.
Pretty funny.
It's like the
What's
Big
it
Chill,
called?
but with more sex.
What's it called when you do that? When you ride your skateboard behind a
Skitching.
car?
Skitching.
Skitching. Yeah.
Used to be a video game on Sega where you could skitch. It was the whole
Oh,
game. Was
Tony
skitch and hit
Hawk. Oh.
people.
You can do that on Tony Hawk's Pro
Oh,
Skater,
sure,
I
yeah.
believe, as well.
And much more fun things. More enjoyable things.
But with not as good of soundtracks.
Yeah.
The
That's
downside of the remaster that came out a little bit ago.
Oh, sure.
I couldn't get all the music on it again.
Oh man. Here we go. Oh man. Tom Wilson is the taller guy, and I think he might be the best actor in all of these. He's a homie. He loves this. The other guy is the guy that said the most like uneducated thing about the movie ever, and they killed his character in the next one.
What did he say about it?
He said the point of the movie is if you have everything will be okay if you have money. And that's not the point of the film at all. In fact, he says the point of the film. It's said in the movie several times. I think he says it. No, he says it once, but.
Oh,
Yeah.
He was drinking and driving.
Yeah.
But it was the 70s, so it was okay.
Yep. And he spilled it on his suit. He needs to McFly has to take care of that.
This is back when I feel like physical violence wasn't okay. Like, he should have punched him. I miss those days sometimes.
But
I don't actually. You shouldn't fist fight.
But he's dressing him down and he's just taking it. He says, he asks him, you want me to fire, would you? He didn't say anything.
You know, that guy deserves an open hand slap. It's much more disrespectful.
He gets the best lines, though.
Oh my gosh. This asshole.
Oh, man.
This fucking piece of shit.
Me and Nate say that all the time. And this next line, too. Say hi to your mom for me, man.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta say, not even 15 minutes in, I'm liking this movie quite a bit.
Biff Tannen, baby. Bully across time. Man, we were just looking at journals with Crispin Glover's face on them for purchase.
That's Crispin Glover?
Yeah, it's Crispin Glover. That's Willard.
He looks so old.
Yeah.
Also, why is he rubbing his stomach like that? I don't like it.
He has anxiety.
I mean, that's true, but I see a lot of people with anxiety, and they don't usually rub their stomach like that.
Well, if you have IBS
He looks
at
like
the same
a kid.
time.
I know. I was about to say, he looks like a kid who's about to shit himself in my office.
There's a deleted scene about this peanut brittle that somebody came to the door and guilted him into buying way too much peanut brittle.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, but they cut it out. So that's his brother and that's his mom. That's Lorraine.
Oh, okay. I didn't
do you think he said hi for Biff?
Marty McFly had siblings.
Yeah, he's got a brother and sister. What are their names? I don't remember right now.
Didn't make it again.
Yeah. Mom's having a Bud Light at dinner. This might be in Wisconsin.
Mom's already toasted on wine. And maybe, okay.
Pads.
70s, so maybe some Quaaludes.
Oh, maybe.
Is this the 70s?
No, this is the 80s. This is
80s, yeah. Okay.
This is like 85.
Did they have very many did they have downers in the 80s? I mean, yeah, they had downers in the 80s, but I don't know if they had ones that you could be functional on.
Yeah, I don't know.
And the curlers in the hair and the pomade.
Dog, that I've been using pomade recently. It is a hard. You gotta be a man's man to use that pomade on the regular. I'm sometimes like, because you gotta heat it up in your hands to get it to do. It's got wax in it, and so I get tired. But the more you put in there, the more it'll do. There's no terminal velocity with what pomade can do. You can make your whole head into a beehive if you want.
I had a brief period in high school where I had a pretty good sized mohawk. With spikes and
bring it back.
Got to be glued.
Oh, snap!
We started off really. Oh, she's just drinking vodka now.
I told you she was toasted.
Right.
Me and a couple buddies just decided to give each other mohawks one point pretty spontaneously, so we didn't have the hair product that was necessary, so we used watered down Elmer's glue. That's all. Yeah. And it didn't not work, but boy, it's not great. Real hair product better.
Yeah, I spiked all of mine straight up in high school because I had a car with T-tops and I would never put them in, and so I used LA Looks Clear. You don't know a hold like LA Looks Clear. Smelled like gasoline and hotness. You couldn't break it with a hammer. It was like a helmet. It was like Mitch Hedberg's head. Not Mitch Hedberg.
It got to be glued.
Max
I
Headroom.
felt like I could impale someone with that first spike.
Yeah. I would lay off the edge of my bed so it would hang while it dried.
Get it, just like
yeah.
Have a dolly painting on your head.
Oh man. So something she's talking about is how she never sat in a parked car with a boy or went out with boys when she was her age. And then and the daughter is like, it's a wonder we were ever born. And she's talking about how her father, they got together because he was bird watching in a tree and he fell out and she took care of him. And the daughter's like, yeah, that's such a sad story, Mom. So now here's Doc giving Marty a call. This is where it starts to get interesting.
Also, though, while she was telling that story, you guys were laughing, and it was great because her husband was laughing and watching at the TV, not paying attention to her story. And I was like, oh, I'm experiencing that.
He's watching an episode of Jackie Gleason. It's a rerun of it, and that's important. Twin Pines Mall. This isn't going to matter because by the time this comes out, I will.
Sorry, go ahead.
JC Penney's coming here. It's a line from Roadhouse. My Wi-Fi is called Twin Pines Mall Guest.
Nice.
It's not gonna. I'm just gonna be that in a little while. So
it's supposed to be a vague Twin Peaks reference, or am I getting my?
Nope. It's another reference. It's a joke that will pay off later. That's not funny.
Okay.
But no, it's not. That's a good call though. Oh yeah, you see he's changed. He's got that bubble vest on. Bubble vest, denim jacket.
Oh no, Twin Peaks.
Oh right, the bubble vest.
Yeah.
Oh right, I wanted to ask. I heard them mention a school dance that was themed Enchantment Under the Sea.
Yep.
Was that a reference or a trope at this point, or is this where it came from?
No. Most schools going all the way back to then were either Under the Stars or Under the Sea. I've been to both at my school. That continued at least into the early 2000s.
For a long time.
Yeah.
By the time my generation rolled around, there were a couple of people who tried to do Harry Potter.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's different. I'm down for different, man. Let's try something.
It's not different's not always fun though. I just got to throw that out there.
He couldn't have picked a worse car to make a time machine out of.
Christopher Lloyd has always been an old man.
Yep. They make a joke about it in the second one because he goes to the future and comes back. And so he's like, Marty, I was afraid you wouldn't recognize me. So I went to a clinic and he had his blood repaired. And he goes, they fixed my skin. He peels off this layer of skin. He looks exactly the same. It's hilarious. I love this. The sound of this is in my head, like how he says it, like into a video camera, like, oh man.
I believe he's like 46, 47 in that.
He's probably like 25, 26. No, he's got to be 40 something, yeah, easily. Well, because he was in Buckaroo Banzai. And
he was in Clue, and he was young in Clue.
Yeah.
He's a good example of another guy who's not necessarily attractive, but has enough charisma that, like in Clue,
he's got that riz. Yeah,
I don't like saying it that way. Okay,
I like to do it so the kids have to come up with more words. I just use them, and they go, "Well, you're using it, so I got to make another one." Come on, I've been doing this since you was born, children. I make words.
Oh my gosh!
And change when what it is changes, change with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This is the best line in the whole movie.
Is the dog necessary? I guess to make sure it doesn't die.
Also, it might be easier to make time travel than it would have been to make a remote control car back then because it's a lot harder than you'd think.
I love his
I've seen
his remote control
a couple times. There's a lot that goes into that.
That remote control is definitely one that you see in a lot of sci-fi and just in general media.
Because you can reprogram it. Those types right here.
That's just like a generic, like hobbyist kind of controller, right?
Yep, you can program it for any like receiver that you put in like planes and boats and stuff like that. It's also wouldn't work because it's a stick shift, but anyway, that's okay. That's okay.
I mean, if he could build a time machine, he could change the transmission.
Yeah.
I think the dog can drive.
I love this because I wonder if he's looking for the shit to fall out of his pants leg when he looks over. Oh man, I've spent so many nights in an abandoned parking lot of a mall.
I was just reflecting the other day about how my first driving lesson was get in the parking lot and go 20 miles per hour so you know what it feels like and how it feels like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Marty just got out of bed, skateboarded to the mall, turned on the camera, had a lot of questions that weren't answered, and just watched him evaporate a dog.
So I
was pretty sure
gotta,
he was about to die.
and I know that this movie's already been made fun of quite a bit for the whole like friendship between an old man
Mhm.
and a young boy. Not only that though, but Marty,
I can tell you how they became friends.
guys, oh my fucking God, Morty, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, Rick and Morty.
I
and
never
Morty.
fucking thought about why his name's Morty.
Oh yeah.
But he just fucking made him stand in front of a cart going straight towards him.
Yeah. He's
Marty,
He's Doc Brown.
fucking move.
No, he didn't want to.
Ugh.
He wanted to see some serious shit.
Another fun word thing, just that I just realized: disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
I get to disintegrate.
You're no longer
Oh,
integrated.
shit.
Are no
Yeah.
longer integrated. Yeah.
Nice.
So the reason, look at this DeLorean. Yeah, I would have asked the same question. Like, there's so many other cars. You idiot. That comes back to bite him. But so in the comics, Marty, Marty's family didn't have a whole lot of money. He hung out with some people that weren't the greatest kids, a lot of punk rocker use. And so to sort of like one up them or sort of like get their adoration, he broke into Old Man Brown's garage to try, because everyone would know Doc Brown's place, because like his father would have been a judge, and then they would have known about the fire, and then throughout the ages they would have known that this is the crazy old man that hides in a garage behind the Burger King. So he broke in there, and instead of
raping him,
he was just like, hey, since you broke my window and stuff, why don't you come back and work for me and I'll pay you. And
I'm just saying, this is sort of in late 70s, early 80s. He's taking a real fucking risk. That was serial killer central during that time.
But nobody knew that, though. That's why they all happened, because everyone's trusting.
The women knew, is all I'm saying. His mother should not have allowed that to happen. Who was drunk
all the time.
Okay, you have a good point. She was doing beer and straight vodka.
George McFly are not examples in any way of how to be parents.
How is this any different than Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
It's similar because you're going on a journey.
I just know how much you hate Charlie's parents because they're poor. And
no, I hate it.
Now I'm just villainizing you for no reason.
The woman, I hate that the mom, I hate that somebody made her feel like she's not important. I hate that Grandpa Joe is a little more manipulative than we give him. I have questions. How do you know that dance? Where's the atrophy? I have questions. So it's whatever. But like her mom, I don't hate. I feel, she's a little dumb, but I think it's because a function of people not treating her well. But
both of those dates were wrong for what he just said. For examples, he said, you want to see the signing of the Declaration of Independence put in July 4th, 1776. It was signed. I want to say August. It's not the 4th is barely relevant in the history of the Declaration of Independence. And then the birth of Christ, he put in December 25th, year 0.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have a new theory. What if this is all a Jacob's Ladder scenario?
It's not a
because
dream.
Doc is an idiot.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I'm not saying it's a dream.
Both
I'm
died.
saying
they both just got hit by the DeLorean.
By a car, driven by a dog. A dog driving a car just killed them.
I do not accept those. Those really get on my nerves. There's like one of those I'm okay with, and that's it.
Jacob's Ladder?
No. Identity. But
the John Cusack one?
Yeah, I think it's okay. That's pretty good.
No, it's only okay if you ignore the last 2 full minutes.
I don't remember that. I mean, I know what. I mean, I know it's that guy that has the eyeball thing. He was hot for a minute. He was in Constantine and a couple other things.
What guy that has the eyeball thing?
The guy that it's all in his head.
Oh yeah, it's that guy. That part's fine, but yeah, I forgot he can do that. He does that in House. You've been watching House.
Yeah, I remember him showing up in it.
Yeah,
I think his was another one of the bird poo flus that people get. Okay, so right now with this, what's going on? He's explaining how this car works, and you remember in the news there was missing plutonium, and then there's a case of plutonium under his bed. Yeah. So to get the electricity he needs for this, plutonium.
So that's why there's no I know there's a lot of sequels and shit to this movie, but that's why
That's
they
true.
don't do one in 2024 because all of these characters would have died of cancer from just being
Yeah.
around radioactive material.
Well, they go to 2015, and then it's always fives. So they're in 1985. He put in a date earlier, which was the day that he invented time travel. He was hanging a clock. He was standing on his toilet, slipped, fell, hit his head, and he came up with the idea of the flux capacitor. That was November 5th, 1955. Then in the next one, they go to 2015, and then in the third one, they go to 1905? No, that's way too early. It's the Old West, so it would have been 1925, 1935. I'd have to double check. It's been a minute.
1885.
1885. Bam, nailed it. That's exactly it. Good call. I love the third one. Third one got a lot of heat for a lot of years, but it's now I've talked with more people. They're like, it is a good one. And the second one played on TV all the time, thanks to Ted Turner. Second one's dark.
Old West, is usually kind of hard to pin down in your mind, but it overlaps the Civil War.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Oh,
Because there is
I never thought of
cavalry
it
in
that
it.
way.
Yeah, I forgot that.
Also, I don't know if this was in the last episode or not, which I'm now referring to the
last-
6 minutes that we were non-recorded. But Michael pointed out a radioactive symbol possibly on one of the science wizards in the first movie. And I like that Doc has one. I noticed that. So that's pretty cool.
To the late night, double feature, picture show.
I guess
It's
the
a
Civil War
double
was in
feature
60.
with a last episode too.
Yeah, man. I feel so. I can't tell
Do you
you
know-
how bad I feel.
No, I love it. It's totally
There's
fine.
only
It's
like
totally
5
fine.
minutes.
I do like to make
Yeah,
fun
you
of
guys are
it,
good,
but it's
though.
not to make you feel guilty about it. But also,
No, you
I
should.
I really dislike when I'm around children and I can't make jokes about the number 69. And I experienced that somewhat recently
No,
when we
it's
were
the
playing
best
Dungeons
joke.
and Dragons. I know, but I can't say it around kids. And
I
yeah,
said
you
nice
you
I
around
said
a
recently.
yesterday when
kid.
we were playing it.
That's not my kid.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. You got 69 hit points. So what the fuck, a drive-by?
That's the
Yeah,
Libyans.
these are the Libyan terrorists who Doc ripped off.
They wanted him to make a
I
bomb
missed
with the
that
plutonium.
he ripped off Libyans. Okay, my
Yeah.
bad,
Yeah,
guys.
they got the
I missed
plutonium and
that.
gave it to him to build a bomb, and he stole the plutonium and gave them a bomb casing filled with used pinball parts.
Oh, okay. I'm reminded of Archer when he had a group of
Oh, he's
I
a
don't
Mexican.
remember. They weren't Libyans. I think they were Brazilians. No,
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Bastard. Okay, you can't use that language, kid. Now imagine this. You got woken up at midnight and your friend, like I had adult friends when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys did or didn't, but I had some that were good eggs, that were good people that didn't, I've never had any problems with any of that stuff. I'm not repressing things. There were, I was in the magic world. So like there are a lot of like adult magicians that will like,
that
they'll
are just
meet a
good
kid.
dudes.
Yeah, and this dude would send me like, old magazines that I couldn't get and like just used magic
Aw,
shit that like this
that's
was
great.
trash to him, and I was like, I love it because I couldn't get anything in the middle of Alabama in the 90s. But imagine that you had a friend like that. He hits you up and you skateboard to the mall at midnight and he has
He gets
ripped off
murdered.
Libyans. You're handling plutonium. He saw a dog time travel and now he's dead. His best friend's dead
So-
right now.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
we
a
should
perfect
all
amount.
reflect. I think we should all reflect on who in our lives would be the person who would have this happen. And I'm realizing, Trent, that it would be you. And I hope you're okay with that.
I can't
of
tell
all
you
of
the
my-
situations in the mall parking lot. You're right. Absolutely.
Like, out of all of the people in my life, the one most likely to call me and then get murdered in front of me is you.
Yeah, totally,
wow.
man. I am Doc Brown. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm driven by my obsessions, and I do it until I hurt people, man. I get my friends on a show and it breaks. And I waste 6 minutes, 7, 8, 10 minutes of their lives. I took time from you today. Of course I'm Doc Brown, man.
Jeez.
I'd love to
Why?
be Marty,
That
but
looks kind of
Marty
like
is
a boob.
yeah. Marty, I aspire to be because he's a little bit of a screw up, but he's the ultimate bard. He gives people wings. In fact, Ryan Reynolds just said he gave a speech about him, like honoring him. Michael J. Fox helped his dad because Ryan Reynolds' dad's got Parkinson's, and so he was talking about how sweet of a man he is.
Oh.
And he said that, he said he likes him a lot because he falls down a lot and people laughed. And he said not because of Parkinson's, because he's not afraid to fly.
Oh, I love
Van
that.
Wilder, you didn't have to be that good today. All right, now this is Old Man Peabody. He talked about how all that land was, as far as the eye could see, was different before it was a mall. So Old Man Peabody had this crazy idea about breeding pine trees, the Twin Pines Mall.
Oh, I love that.
So they named it that as a mockery of the man whose land they stole?
It gets worse than that, Michael.
Oh, no.
I love
so
this
I
right
take
here.
back my I love that. I like that. I like that he. Oh my God. I enjoy that he wasn't even really trying to time travel. He was just like, you guys can't chase me in my fast ass DeLorean. I'm gonna try to go 90.
Can do 90, which you can't in that VW. Yeah, I don't know what his plan was, but especially in that car, it did not have the brakes. John DeLorean, poor guy, that poor idiot.
Good thing it is not fucking
Put all that on.
America 2024. He would be DEAD.
I mean, he's still landed on a
yeah,
farm.
they were shot.
There's a good chance.
Yeah,
He's getting some.
It is California though, so
yeah,
we're a little. It's not like it's Alabama, you know what I'm saying?
Alabama, I think they would at least talk to you a little bit, though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Well, you know what? They might have invited him in. I know a lot of people. They don't have a reason to hate him yet. They probably be like, "You want some tea?"
He's not black. So.
Screw your barn.
Also, that kid's logic is amazing.
Marty's totally right here.
So that just changed history. That tree. He ran over one of the Twin Pines. It'll come back later.
And now it's going to be one pine.
We're not done with this lame joke.
Yes,
It'll be the
I
Lone
love
Pine
it.
Mall.
I remember it.
That's a good call.
So I've watched enough Simpsons and similar type shows to know a lot of things.
You told me that's how you communicate with me, is you've seen Simpsons.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because very frequently people are shocked I haven't seen certain things.
I like to be excited because I didn't watch Jaws up until a few years ago. I didn't watch Karate Kid. I watched Karate Kid the same year. I think it's like 6 years ago, maybe. So that's his neighborhood. It's Lion Estates before it's made.
55, right?
Yeah, this is 1955. Now, this is where I bring up them. Also, I can because I'm such a man's man. I'll wait till it gets there, but we'll.
Can we talk about that woman's face?
Stop! All right, so this part right here. Okay. All of this goes out. He's just time traveled, and we've discovered that it's not super hot when he travels. It's cold, damn cold. It's not starting. And since I'm a man's man, I'm going to armchair mechanic this real quick. I don't know a single car made before 1999 that'll start after it's been in a frozen hell. I don't know how they got around in Wisconsin in the winter up here. No shit, it didn't start.
Yeah. Oh,
Buy a better car, Doc.
I forgot about that being a thing.
1985.
I only learned recently about block heaters being just an everyday thing in like Alaska.
Yep, they have plugs hanging out of the trucks up there.
You forget to plug in your car, you're not starting it for a couple days.
Yeah.
Walmart I didn't go to the Walmart in Anchorage, but Fairbanks had plug-ins for your which now they have plug-ins for like Teslas, but back then it was just a regular wall outlet. So Sandman.
During this montage, I assume we're about to see, you said Walmart, and I need to share about this insane thing that happened today while we were going grocery shopping.
Oh God, Walmart.
Oh my God, it was fucking wild. It wasn't even Walmart's fucking fault though. It was a psycho lady. Well, I shouldn't say that. I like,
but they give them a place to congregate. So
I know, but it was this chick. She was probably in her early 20s with her presumably at the least roommate or something. They were gonna have spaghetti tonight, I think. But she picked up 2 different jars of spaghetti sauce, opened them both, smelled them, and then decided to take which one and closed it and moved on. And
somebody's gonna not check the pop top thing.
Well, don't worry. I fucking went over there, checked all of them, grabbed the one that she popped, and took it to customer service and was like, hey, somebody fucking opened this for no reason. Here you go.
If you ever come, not that you need to be a crusader for Walmart, but if you ever come across something like that again, just drop it in a buggy. They have if they find anything like, because you could like leave it open in a buggy. or something, and they'll see it's pop. But if you leave like milk or eggs, anything like that that's not where it should be, that's food for a little while, they have to just toss it. So like you don't even have to tell somebody. You can just do that. Easy
for those of you who don't understand the language you just spoke, a buggy is a shopping cart.
I said it without even thinking.
I clocked that. I wasn't going to say anything.
For 10 years, I've called it a shopping cart. I've done
if
so.
You're getting ready. You're going back down there.
And I would like to point out, y'all people get real mad when you call it that up here. They do not have. They can't take 2 seconds to be like, what does he mean? Instead of going, what?
The only one that I'll make a point about is if someone tries to use Coke as a generic form for soft drink.
I say all of them now because you never know what you're going to get even up here. I'll go, can I get a soda? And then I'll drop pop because soda and pop works. And then they just kind of, if they waver, I'll go like a Coke. Can I get a Coke? So I'll give them kind of a benefit of the doubt. Or I'll even go Coke Pepsi or something like that to kind of.
I mean, usually you just say specifically what you want. Like, can I get a Mountain Dew? Can I get a Sprite? But if you're in the South and you say, can I get a Coke? They might say, what kind? And then.
Man, I say stuff everywhere and people have reactions to them. Like, this is going to happen right here in a minute. Well, I think it's after the phone call. Yeah, I'll point out what we're talking about happens to him right now. Man, I tried to get a slice of pie one time. I can't tell you how long that took.
Was it on the East Coast for
pie? It was somewhere in the bra strap of America, somewhere in the central time zone that I travel all the time.
Well, wait, what was the confusion then?
Because where I'm from is called pie.
Can I get some pie?
Not pie. This right here is what we're talking about. Right here, this happens. You know what tab is?
Yeah.
Do you know what Pepsi Free is?
Yeah. Who's on first? Why does he want sugar? What kind of fucking kid is this?
Burt Reynolds, the in Smokey and the Bandit, as he's asking, look at how they're holding their hair the same.
He just pulled a full cup of coffee on a saucer out from under the counter.
Yeah, it's the best diner ever.
It was just ready to go.
Yeah, Hill Valley is the town, man. But Burt Reynolds said in Smokey and the Bandit when he was trying to, Sally Field was saying things he didn't know about and he was saying people that she didn't know about, he said that it depends on what part of the country you're in as to just how stupid you are. And he's in the 1955 of America. Look at Tom, man. He was a beefcake.
Yeah.
He's really funny. He's got a good sense of humor about stuff. And he was a stand-up. I don't know if he's still doing stand-up, but he had a song he would play that had to do with people coming up to him and trying to get him to say hello to your mother for me, butthead. And he would be like, will I say that for you? No. Will
He's reminded me quite a bit of Thad/Reacher / Alan Richardson.
He's a big boy. He's a big man. Looks like he ate another human.
And especially, which also I absolutely fucking adore seeing the difference between what's counted as big or extreme. Oh, look at them jump in the car. I love it.
Yeah, man.
Big or extreme in old movies versus now. So like, fuck yeah. Butts is a great example. So watching the I Like Big Butts music video.
I was going to ask, what's that movie? I need to check this out.
The asses in it are so fucking small. And then
Compared
you go watch.
What? Yeah.
To now. Go watch any fucking other video
Wilson.
from now. Oh, nice.
Re-elect Mayor Goldie Wilson. But yeah, I should check that video out now with knowing the butts I know now.
It's fucking wild. So yeah, like a large man in this movie is Biff, and then you see fucking Alan Richardson as Reacher, and like
Rich.
God.
That movie, that show, the movie, but that show is the most dad show.
I love it
when
so
he's
much.
like, when they're like, you want to have, me and Nate joke about this all the time. He's like, you want to have dinner? And they're like, what? He goes, that meal you have after breakfast and lunch or whatever. It's like, okay, Dad.
How do you
I don't want a case of
this?
God, Reacher. When he's like the sign that's like half off and she's like, that was the other. I'm like, oh God, Dad's going to say something about it.
Yeah, it's great.
I love it. I love him in that part. I think there's a lot of good heartwarming stuff.
I love all the constant jokes about his size.
They broke his toothbrush.
Like, what his poor toothbrush.
Like that's the meanest thing you could do. They did that in the new True Detective season, and there's sort of a sub-dom relationship, not full sub-dom, but kinda. But she swipes the dude's toothbrush, and he's like, hey. And I'm like, yeah, that's really hard to get on North Slope, man.
Yeah.
Now, you remember, Lorraine said that she met her father when he was bird watching.
Yes. And fell out of a tree.
Yeah.
Is he being a pervert?
Yes, he is.
Bird watch.
His parents are not models for parents. You should not like them. But they made Marty, who is the eternal bard.
Is that the takeaway from this movie? That even shitty people can become parents, so don't put them up on a pedestal?
No. Yeah. If you set your mind to it, you'll accomplish anything.
Oh my gosh. Wait, that was a pretty stupid...
Should have been his dad, huh? That's a problem, huh?
He hit it with much better bracing face on than his dad would have getting hit side.
But his dad's not going to get taken care of by Lorraine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This guy just keeps running over kids.
That's his grandpa that said it.
Teenagers just keep killing themselves all over my property.
Hucking themselves at a wood chipper. I rewatched that the other day. That's still a good one. Oh,
I do get frustrated sometimes at this point in movies where I'm like, okay, so I figured out the problem. His dad's not going to get with his mom now, and I'm like, okay, so fast forward 30 seconds.
Well, you figured out the problem because everything's parodied this since then. Like,
that's so it gets that's kind of why I don't like to watch some of those movies that are classics in that way, because I'm like, I feel like I've already. Like the tension's been taken out of it almost.
Mm-hmm. Look how young she is. Tell you something that is shortcut in movies now.
Yeah. But then sometimes that really does work. Where we've definitely seen things. Oh my God, Lorraine, don't be a slut.
She never sat in cars with boys. She never parked in a car with boys. Never made out with boys. There's a lot of therapy in this, Sarah.
I get so. This is also what I don't like about old
movies. Oedipus is somewhere in this room, homie.
This is also why I get really mad at these types of movies, because it really reinforces the idea that if a boy sees any woman that he thinks is pretty, he will fuck her. That means that you should never feel secure in a relationship.
Well, except we know specifically that this situation.
He's not into it though, Sarah. She's into it. He knows what's up. He's not into this at all.
Okay.
He's visibly scared of this situation. He hasn't had a moment to process anything. Like just chugging the DeLorean back to that sign, and then he had to maybe he had a chance to think about it while he's walking. But then he's got to figure out, where am I going to go from here? Then he gets knocked into by a car, and now all of a sudden his mom is horny for him.
I'm concerned that I'm going to come across as slut-shaming by telling this woman to not be a slut. First of all, she's not a woman. She's a teenager.
I think it shows that
sexually aggressive, and that's not okay.
Well, here's my thing.
No, her behavior right now is completely unacceptable.
But
you know what?
Also
I can't argue that
because
I'm
for a teenager in this situation.
I can.
Also, that's not acceptable.
I can hold him. Yeah, I'm not into briefs, but that's why she calls him Calvin Klein. That's what she was just saying. She keeps calling him Calvin Klein, and he's like, "Why are you calling me that?" She's like, "Because you wrote your name on your underwear."
I
have a thing about that later.
He professionally stitched it in very nice, neat lines.
Yeah.
She also just took off his pants only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His underwear
and that's also not okay.
Her last name's McBain. Horny Lorraine McBain. Oh,
was
man.
he wearing tidy lavenderies?
Yeah,
it looks
man.
like it. Yeah.
It's Steezy. That kid was in Wonder Years, the one with the coonskin hat. And then that's his Uncle Jailbird Joey.
That kid's great.
So yeah, this is grandma and grandpa. So on his mom's side.
Oh my God.
We could dissect that for a while. I enjoy that. He loves it in there, so we keep him there.
Yeah, it's brilliant, man. Look, they're rolling it in. Jackie Gleason.
Oh yeah.
Who was also in Smoking the Bandit. He's Buford T. Justice.
Yeah, Lorraine's got it bad.
Hey man, you know what? I can't hold women to anything. Get it. Do yours, man. I won't hold Sarah, you hold them accountable. I'll hold the boys accountable.
I'm even wearing a good therapy shirt. I have my June Diane Raphael emotional support.
I love June.
Shirt on.
You guys love June so much.
Yes, it's great.
That kid's so mad. What do you mean? It's brand new. All right, tone it down, Stoltz. Although they probably were acting across Eric Stoltz now that I think about it.
Oh, that's a good point.
Those little one shots.
Her lips are so thin.
Because she's so thin. That's not what he says in the next movie.
Side note, Kylie Jenner got lip injections most likely because somebody said your lips are really thin after they made out with her, and it is hypothesized that the person who did that was Jaden Smith.
Oh, interesting.
That's your random celebrity gossip for the day. There's also a hilarious picture of them leaving a movie together with her white foundation all over him.
Who is him?
Jaden Smith.
I'm not gonna go into that too far. You know what? I have a thing about thin lips. I also think that thin lips are attractive. I think there's a quality
cute.
to them. Yeah, I think they
she's
can be
very
sexy.
attractive.
You can make like a wide smile, and you can do a lot with thin lips. I don't understand.
They look kind of like doll lips sometimes.
Yeah, that's fucking dope, man. I'm sorry if I'm. If you want to, I was just talking about like elective surgery the other day because like I would get lipo in a second, but how much is my money worth versus my vanity? But that would only be to give me a leg up because I have been working out and like moving my frame around a lot. If it was missing 50 to 75 pounds, I could literally do more working out. So like I would totally do it. But like it's everybody's own reasons. I just hate if anybody feels that they have to do it if you want to.
Absolutely.
But I think it's better to look interesting than it is good. And a lot of people that get elective surgeries, I don't think look very good. Some Botoxes, some things like that.
Oh gosh, I'm never gonna remember her name.
It's the brown mansion.
It's Jennifer something. Dirty Dancing lady.
Oh, Gray.
Jennifer Gray. She got that nose job, and then, she didn't get. Oh my gosh,
it was exactly the same.
Thank you. She didn't get any jobs after that. Oh, I love the little doggo.
Yeah. Now think about this.
Wait, so he just said, I don't want to know anything about you. So to Doc Brown, he doesn't even know he came in the DeLorean, right? He's just like, oh, good, a random person.
Yeah.
The DeLorean doesn't exist yet. This is November 5th, 1955, the day he invents the thing that causes time travel to be possible, the flux capacitor. So think about this. Your best friend's dead. It's been a day, and you're talking to him right now, and he has no idea who you are.
Yeah, that's wild.
And he's about to figure out time travel because he time travels.
Yeah, but it's not the bootstrap paradox. It's different.
Yeah.
You'll see. Because you see he's got a bandage on his forehead.
Yeah.
This house is featured.
A silver snakeskin.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Doc's
we did not appreciate that. Yeah.
He buys a DeLorean. He's wearing that at home. Doc's getting it, man. This house is featured heavily in the beginning of the third one, and I think that's one of the most pretty and nice sounding intros to any movie ever made. Is the third Back to the Future? It tracks through this house, and I think it's very lovely. It's cool, man. It's got some steez to it. So I heard an adult say steez. Don't take that one from me. That's mine. I took it from somebody else.
Too.
What was the thing that Doc just said didn't work? The head thing?
This thing, he was trying
mind reader.
Because he said you're collecting money for the Coast Guard or National Guard because he's wearing that vest. Everybody keeps thinking
trying to guess who he was, and he was completely wrong. Okay.
Yep. It's like a mentalism helmet. Look, Ronald Ray.
Yeah, I noticed he was on the movie poster. Right?
Imagine if it was, who's the president? Donald Trump.
Right.
And there's his current house.
Host?
That guy that says awful things about who would ever like that? What? You guys are crazy. Ronald Reagan? Reagan gave some decent speeches.
President Camacho T Mountain Dew or whatever.
Yeah, it's got what plants crave. Rondo. Right here. Look at Christopher Lloyd when he does this.
He just boots.
Let's go.
Everything.
That's a great looking shot, man. Like everything is, every frame is a painting or something.
Well, Christopher Lloyd also, by the way, is the perfect example of sometimes it's better to look interesting than attractive. Like I said, he's got enough. He's an interesting looking man. Sorry, Michael, what were you saying?
I was just thinking about my favorite bootstrap paradox in the Doctor Who episode about about Pandora's box. This, by the way, is a non-canon copyright. This is Professor Witch.
Professor Witch, Star-Lord?
Professor Witch, Martin McFloat, and Professor Taupe.
Taupe's good. Look at this.
Where he like gets out of the prison because future self, who has been released from the prison, goes back in time to release him.
Oh yeah, well,
And
that's
at one point he sees in the future, he's got a fez and he's holding a mop, and the other Kabe's like, oh, that's what you look like. He's like, oh really, okay, boom, and he pops back in time because something happened in the past when he was wearing that.
It's quasi Bill and Ted's. Bill and Ted's do the thing where we just got to remember to go back through and do it again. I
really enjoy that.
Put the keys
I ascribe to that one.
behind that bush.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Now imagine you're for starters a video camera. Like what? Love this old TV. Yeah, you know what? Hey, there's something to be grateful for, Doc. That's a good call, man. Every day, I just want to get a Sharpie and start marking where my hairline's going. Just trying to keep up with it.
All the follow-up for nature. I'm sorry, I missed you.
I'm just bitching about getting older. Ignore it. I love that he quickly spliced all that into that old TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had a hard time getting that Laserdisc player to work, man. Look, they're talking over a movie.
They stole your idea. You stole their idea.
No, we did time travel. They stole our idea.
Right, yes.
Yeah. It's a lot, Doc. It's like it's enough to level up. I don't know if I told you. I don't think I told you guys this. The house next to my apartment building got struck by lightning the other night.
Oh, no. What?
That was the loudest damn thing I've ever heard in my life. It was... It made a picture fall off the wall and half my lights turn out. I felt a shockwave.
Oh my gosh!
And car alarms were going off.
Wow.
You know, this just
front yard once when I was a kid. It left like a 3-foot hole in the ground.
Yeah, but thanks to we're really close to a fire department over here, and I think we got good firefighters in Madison. You can't tell from the outside, as far as I can tell, the worst damage. It ran in and like blew up something in the basement. They're all safe. They're all okay. Everybody got out, and I think most of their stuff probably wet, probably smoke damage, but like hopefully they got some insurance or something. Now, where are you going to get 1.21 gigawatts of electricity? If you only knew when and where a lightning strike
would happen, yeah. So also, you guys I have a confession to make. There's a small part of me that has always wanted to be struck by lightning because I'm a crazy person.
I know someone who's been struck twice. Next door neighbor to my parents' house.
That is wild.
Got hit 2 or 3 times.
What the fuck? But as we discussed it, I'm like, I think I probably would survive.
If I knew I was going to survive, I don't think I would now, because this woman
who survive don't get struck. That something near them gets struck.
Yeah, it hit like the yard, but this woman is also in her like 80s, and she still takes care of like gardens, and she takes care of an adult daughter with autism. She takes care of a brother who needs. I don't know how to say exactly what all he has going on. He's in like a wheelchair and he has a hard time in life. She still takes care of all those people and animal. Her husband's been dead for a long time, and she's been struck by lightning twice. She might outlive me. Yeah, she's an incredible person.
Also, I wasn't laughing at the horrible things happening. I was laughing at Doc pointing directly at the camera saying "Back to the Future."
Got to make that trailer shot, baby. Down. That's the power of love.
Unplugged it back
What'd you say, Michael?
I accidentally just unplugged my headset and plugged it back in, and can you double check that it didn't break the stream?
No, you're good. We're good, dog. I got it. I got you, homie. If I can hear you, we got it. I see it. I see it right here. I see your voice, man.
Randomish side note, I have run into a lot more grandparents with grandchildren who have autism. Oh my God, that's wild. And it is absolutely glorious to see, because I mean, from the nature of my job, I'm seeing people who have had hard lives, but to see these hardened people be like, yeah, man, I'm just like supporting this kid with autism, and they're so good with it. They're just like chill as all get out, and it's making me really happy, because there was somebody who was kind of like, well, it's kind of annoying that they'll eat this brand of this, but not this, but like
only
whatever, I guess.
Foods or,
it's like
no,
they were like,
like
packaged
nuggets.
like packaged peanut butter crackers, but if I give him a cracker and put peanut butter on it, he doesn't like it. And they're like, in my day, we couldn't do that, but okay.
I want Doc's shirts so damn bad. I don't want to go into the specifics of it just because I just don't. But it's gonna sound like really damn tone deaf, but I weirdly respect people that are far on the spectrum, because number one, a lot of the times they won't even recognize, like, acknowledge someone that comes in the room if they don't want to, or not if want. That's a weird. I'm trying to dance around this and be nice about it, but I appreciate the fact that they are themselves. And I love obsessions. Like, we talk about this a lot. There's stuff that I don't know anything about, and I'll ask you questions because I want to hear it. And I like when people light up about it. And so most autistic people I know will have a fascination, and I can be like, tell me what you know about this. And they'll just go and not feel embarrassed, and they'll nerd out in front of me. And so I don't have to take care of them every day, all day. So it's convenient for me to say I really like them. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's cool. It sucks a lot of the stuff that has to go with it. But I don't know. I just ended up being around a lot of autistic people, and so I talk about nerd stuff all the time. So
I have the same experience with Mania, which sometimes
Mania is interesting. Yeah,
it's an interesting time.
I ask people on a regular basis when I have ideas for the talkover, do I sound manic? Because I'm worried it's like I'm one step away from like taking my clothes off and being on the Oprah show. So.
I think there's a couple of steps in between there. Don't worry.
We got about 2 minutes left, and we're at the hour mark. Take a break. Okay. So just a heads up there.
If you make the choice to rearrange furniture during the break, then we'll start talking Mania.
Oh man, no, that's where I'm on the other end of the spectrum, because I don't even like decorating for Christmas, because it took me a long time to figure out where to put my stuff. I'm a real dude when it comes to that. I don't like, although I will say when I do finally rearrange something, it feels so cool. It's like you're in a new room. So no, I'm not going that far, but I can't even talk about where some of the connective threads for some of this stuff came from, because I sound real crazy. It just trust me, it makes sense. I'll land the plane. I love that there's just two people just walking around the school,
just hanging out. One of them a strange adult.
Oh man, it's a great place to pause.
Also, him putting his hat on makes him look 20 years younger.
Absolutely. Well, the white hair, the hair does it right there. The hairline, all that stuff.
So is this also Crispin Glover? Yeah. I don't know who any.
So that's his dad in high school. Yeah.
Okay.
They did a pretty good job of olding him up to the dad age, because he's got a baby face, and he's got a great head of hair, and
he's 2 years younger than.
Look at Marty, man. He looks great with a little bit of slick in there. That rolled up sleeve,
man. I love it.
It's a very handsome man. I
oh
love
my gosh.
Fox.
I love how innocent little. What is he? Is he George?
Yep, George.
Is that the name of Dad? Okay, yeah. I love all my stories.
Yeah, he's writing science fiction, or he's trying to.
He should write a story about going back to the future.
Should he, Sarah? Yeah. Oh, should he? Do you think he will? Do you think he's gonna? All right, we're gonna count this down from 10, 9, 8. I started too early. 7, 6, 5. Can't stop now. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. All right. Whew, I am gonna step away for a moment. We're gonna be back. I'll put up a timer so you know how long it's going. Bye.
Oh, hello there, Sarah and Michael, or Michael Sarah, as I like to call you. Thanks for coming back on the show. Hello, Murphy. How's it going? Well, how are you enjoying Back to the Future so far?
It's very good.
Great.
I'm enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you're sticking around. Trent's only made me watch it 36 times. So I'm going to kick it over to you, Sarah, first. If you could time travel anywhere, where would you go?
Well, I was thinking about why this question is so hard for me to answer, and I realized that part of it is because going backwards in time will just always result in things getting worse for me as a woman.
Absolutely.
And then so it's like, well, is there really? No. But I think I wish that I could have been in my 30s during what felt like the heyday of my time, which is when I was a teenager in middle school and shit. And it might have only felt like a good time because I was a teenager in middle school and shit, and life felt easy. But I would love to be in my 30s during that. So that'd be like 2010, 29.
Like have the brain that you have now in that body then.
Fuck no. No, I will never go back in high school again. Sorry, I hated high school and middle school. But like the world around me was okay. You know, it wasn't great, but it was okay.
I like that 2010 sounded like it was pretty good from what Trent talks about. Michael, if you could time travel, where would you go?
Well, I had an answer in mind, but you got me thinking now about that. And I was born in 91, and I think it would be pretty cool to, and now I'm in my 30s, just go back and be in my 30s through the 90s. That'd be pretty neat.
The 90s were an interesting time, as Trent likes to talk about. The real world was interesting, as we may hear about a lot. Grunge seemed a lot of fun. 94 was a heck of a year, it sounds like. If I could go back in time, I'd go back about a week ago. I was visiting Florida, and I saw Taylor Swift and Destin, and I rolled over to get a picture. One of her managers must have thought I was a bomb because he threw me out of the window into the ocean. And I'm just so embarrassed to admit that Tay-Tay saw me that way. Anyway,
oh, heavy metal Alexa.
You have a new look, by the way? Are you trying to impress Tay-Tay?
I had just come from the tattoo shop right before that, so it probably kind of scared them a little bit. It's bad timing, but
if it makes you feel better, she said once, well, not once, she said it repeatedly in a song that she then published, that if she could live in any time period, it would be the 1800s, but without all the racists.
I try not think about that track because I'm a fan, but it's hard to separate some of my memory.
And that she would be the wife to the highest bidder. We can't forget that part.
Well,
so just save up some money.
Now, so, usually it's the lowest bidder with me when people are ordering them, but I'm going to get on up out of here. Here comes Trent. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.
There's no time to talk about that joke. Y'all ready to start up?
Yep.
Man, y'all are good friends. All right. I'm going to count it down. Second verse, same as the first. 3, 2, 1, go. Now, Michael, when he was taking the break, Michael had brought up something. They just had a conversation, Doc and Marty did, about, because Marty goes, "That's heavy, Doc." And he goes, "Why do you keep saying heavy? Is there like a gravitational pull in the future and everything's based on weight?" But I think there's a certain point where they flip flop and.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah. Sorry. I thought she was on his lap.
Well, it might as well be. She's in his grundle.
See, this is why I don't want to go back in time.
Rip his testicles off, Lorraine. Become vengeance. Now, this is where the problem... There's 2 missions going on right now. Doc's got to get ready to accept lightning. Marty's got to get his parents back together. The problem is, Marty is the eternal bard. He can't help it.
Yeah. He's Reacher.
Look at him.
Yeah.
I don't know that Reacher's a bard. Reacher's a fighter.
Reacher's a paladin.
Maybe. Let me think on that. I don't hate that.
An Oathbreaker paladin.
Yeah, and when he headbutts, that's him using Divine Smite.
Let me think on it. I like it. I don't hate it. There's fighter in there, though.
There is, but why is that guy wearing fucking 3D glasses?
They did that back then, man. It's cool. And it hurts. I bought a pair of like hard plastic ones and wore them for a day. Don't do that, kids.
I'm sorry. It's phenomenal that somebody just threw an airplane just in the background.
Youths. That was their way of going on their cell phone back in the day, was throwing a paper airplane.
Was Crispin Glover considered hot? Like, is he supposed to be hot in this?
I don't know, because I don't know how you separate the brain stuff with him. I don't know if you've watched his Letterman interviews, but they're fascinating. He can kick very high.
Mm-hmm.
He's not stable, Crispin Glover, by any means.
I do know that. Yeah.
I don't know if I can. I think he's an attractive man. I think he still looks very similar. Like, he dresses in really nice suits. And oh no, he cut him at his knees.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait, who is that even?
That's his brother. It's Dave.
Oh, okay.
I remember his brother's name.
Nice.
Yeah, Dave McFly. Oh yeah. Now I got a little bit of trivia on this right here. So he pops in a tape in his Walkman, which is my favorite toy as a kid. Edward Van Halen. They hit up Eddie and they were like, "Hey man, this kid loves rock and roll and stuff, and he's playing like, Huey Lewis, but he's doing like a shredding version of it. He's in the Pinheads. We need some Van Halen stuff for the movie." And he's like, "I don't know that the band is going to be okay with me doing this. So can we call it something else?" And he was like, "Edward Van Halen." He's like, "That's perfect." And so he just made that for the movie. I mean, maybe they paid him, but he was just, Zemeckis and Spielberg hits you up and you're like, "Yeah, I'll give you like 30 seconds of a lick."
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, as a homie, man. Oh man, that time, man, if you play the Telltale game of this movie, you get so mad at that town square because my God, it is not well made, Telltale. Look, he's trying to open his bottle. Do you know how many times I've done that here in Wisconsin? You never know. You never know. Still,
yeah. Flip of the coin.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a joke in the second one where they make this futuristic bottle that Marty gets, and he just can't figure out how to open it.
It's like one of those, like a Japanese soda.
Yeah, like a Ramune. Yeah.
In there.
So, okay, I have to throw a couple of things out here right now. First of all, someone washed Crispin Glover's hair.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, I really thought this was going to be a movie where they go back in time over and over and over again for some reason.
They do it more in the second one.
Okay, I think that's part of why I'm enjoying it so much, is that it's not that.
It's just exploring how people were in different times and how, we can sort of put rose-colored glasses on the past and see what it really looks like. And it's a lot about your parents and generational stuff.
And you're right. Like, it has been redone so many times, but the original is still quite good. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. It sounds. It's not bad.
He just criticized his hair.
There's no I don't think there's anything that ages poorly in this. I think I have a theory too. So movies, I think period pieces age better because they're already out of time. So like American Graffiti still looks amazing. Dazed and Confused still looks amazing. This is out of time as well. This was made a lot of 1955 and 85. So the only thing that ages poorly is when they go forward in time. But that is a funny thing, kind of like how Hackers is. It's not supposed to be serious. It's supposed to be wacko. So it's when you're outside of time like that, period pieces, I think, hold up a little bit better, in my opinion. Yeah, has popped me to you. Sometimes you try and say something, it just don't come out right. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Let's just go back to every one of my intros from last year. It's like my tongue hated the top of my mouth. God. Oh, yeah, here he comes.
I'm your density.
It's popped me to you. That's how most girls react when I talk to them. It's a, what? Because I said it in a way that sounds like it's interesting.
I do think I would be easily wooed in the 1950s.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, he's trying. Oh,
well, not just
at least he's not Biff.
Like comedy was so
God damn it,
new.
Biff. Biff's such a piece of shit.
It's okay. The Bard's got him. Support.
You're right.
Yeah.
He is fucking. Oh my God. Is it Chris Pine? No, shoot. Who's the Bard in fucking the D&D movie?
Chris Pine.
Yeah,
nice.
That's a Chris Pine move right there.
Yeah,
he is. He's Chris Pine. He's a Bard. I'm Team Marty Bard.
Oh, look at that. And a crowd control move there. Just knock everyone over.
Uh-huh. I'm telling you, man. He gasses everybody up. He inspires
and then he
everyone.
Steals from children.
And they're so mad. Everybody gets so mad at the Bard.
That's amazing, though. Those little fucking homemade scooters.
He invented the skateboard. That's how radical Martin McFly is. Oh, man. I have heard like some complaints.
To skate in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I couldn't remember if they were up there.
Well, first off, they're cheap. and they got good grip. So like that's why they were
Not any
basketball
fucking
shoes.
more. They're not.
At Target.
$60 fucking dollars.
But like 1-stars you can get. I used to get 1-stars for like $20 at Target. That was my beach shoes because they would just get tore up and I just go buy a new pair. They're not Chucks, but like plain Chucks aren't that much more expensive. But their design on the bottom absolutely were great grip. That's why Airwalks were so good when they came out, because of that square design. A lot of people wanted those for skateboarding shoes.
Wait, Billy Zane's gonna show up
In the second one.
Oh no,
He's one of the cronies.
Okay.
He might be one of the cronies now.
He is. He's
Okay.
Match. Apparently, that's what Amazon is telling me right now.
Yeah, it's him. He was standing up. That's the Phantom,
Nice.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He has a line in the second one that's like, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. And then they just hit Marty and it goes black and goes, the easy way. Look at this. Look at
Nice.
this move, baby. Enjoy
Biff
eating
was-
shit, Biff.
Biff was gonna commit legitimate murder.
He is many times across the series. Biff was trying to kill Marty. I told you he sends him into a rage. Everyone's blood pressure goes up when Marty flies there.
D. Jones manure hauling.
Dr. Jones.
That's Dr. Jones.
D. Jones. Yes,
I'm also
Letterkenny.
realizing that I have definitely seen the actor who plays Biff Tannen, Tom Wilson, in so many shows as just an aggressive bully in one episode, like on procedurals and stuff. And I love it very
interesting.
much.
Oh.
He's definitely, I'm very confident he's in an episode of Psych, but I'm not 100% sure.
You know, someone making a show like that would just love to have him because you know they grew up.
Oh,
Anybody
yeah.
that makes movies has to have seen like.
And
you guys
Psych
have not
is
seen
full
it,
of
it
shit
makes
like
sense.
that.
Because like you guys didn't grow up watching a lot of Ted Turner-ized stuff like I did, so because you would have been watching your own TV by the time that was going away. So it makes a lot of sense that you wouldn't have accidentally seen this, and especially if you're hanging out with like your contemporaries, they're more than likely also hadn't seen it either, and so it'd have to be an adult that happened to show it to you. And so like to have someone to think to do that is not super often. I ask my mom all the time, like, how did you know to show me Ghostbusters? Because I was obsessed with it as a child. It was my whole being.
I did see that when I was a child. Yeah.
Man, it's so good, and
I'm a little
it's
surprised. My brother's 4 years older than me. I'm surprised he didn't show me this.
there's no way that he hasn't seen this. That seems maybe
I'm sure he has.
Yeah, he has to have, because he would have been a little bit of Ted Turner era.
This wasn't one of the ones. I don't think it was one of the ones we had on VHS growing up.
Now look at all the ketchup balls. I want to throw out a couple of jokes here. Well, one's a joke. The other's more of a serious thing. But every time Doc does in the rest of the series, he does miniatures. He's always like, "Sorry, it's not to scale." And Marty's like, "It's okay, Doc." But I'm Doc. I'm just like apologizing for everything. You guys are like, "It's fine."
Oh my god.
I actually didn't know that I was a Doc Brown until you said that. So thank you for again brought the
I got
therapist. Yeah. All right. So Marty comes in and there's a moment where Doc's watching that video and it cuts before he gets shot. And so Doc has said many times no one should know too much about their own future. So Marty's tried to talk to him about that night a couple of times and he's shut him down. And that's like one of the last times for a minute that he's going to bring that up again. But like, as goofy as this movie is, that's some pretty heavy shit, man. That's heavy duty, Doc. Like that's
heavy.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. So
he's actually a fairly well-adjusted Rick, I suppose, if you think about it in those terms.
He's got no
Which
substance.
I mean, I guess
he can't drink. He's a teetotaler. Like he drinks whiskey in the third one, and it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He just runs around the room. So
God, I forgot Christopher Lloyd's in that too, isn't he?
Oh my God, he's the villain. Yeah,
I think he is. Yeah,
that was the first movie I saw in the theater. Was Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Also, I was gonna say, I know for my generation at least, I was just, instead of a lot of things like movies like this, it was so much more just cartoons always.
Well, to be
fair, we were in the cartoon era.
You did come up in a really good cartoon era. As I was getting a little bit older, my parents didn't really care for cartoons that much, and I was an only child, so I was around adults a lot more. So I watched way more live action. And also I grew up in the 90s in Alabama. So that rule where you're supposed to come home when the lights come on in the streets, it was the same, but opposite. We weren't allowed to come inside the home until they came on. We had to stay outside. If you're thirsty, drink from the hose. I don't care that's 150. Quit crying. You're a boy. All I wanted to do was watch movies. Movies were the thing that I got people to do when you couldn't do anything else. Like, That's why I stopped doing podcasts about TV shows that I hated or making video game videos. What was I doing? Like, I was like, I have to do something with movies. That's my steez. That's my shit. And so here we are.
Yeah.
I'm forcing you all to stay inside. It is a rainy day here, though.
It is here too, actually.
Oh, that's good for watching a movie. Oh, man. I love Doc's reaction to her this whole time.
I've come around on her.
She's aggressive.
Now that she has seen him be a hero in a bard, her attraction makes sense. She's still when I first went to college, we had to watch a lot of sexual harassment videos, and there was something called a SAM, a sexually aggressive male. She's a SAF, which is a sexually aggressive female. And it's not okay.
No.
But I do understand her infatuation after seeing what he did to Biff, and I 1,000% would be like, swoon fucking city.
I think if she, like how she was in the bedroom, she was way more handsy, and he didn't have pants on that she took off.
And
like,
that was
way
not okay. Yeah.
But like in an open space, I think it's okay to be forward, but I think there's a line you got to pay attention to.
There is a line
at least a witness there.
Yeah. Like there's ways of doing it, but not.
I don't know that I'll ever forget a horrifying sight, which was a roommate of mine, not a friend, who in school broke up with her long-term boyfriend and chose to have sex with somebody else afterwards, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
What wasn't fine was at the party where she was not drinking at all, and neither was he, and she got in the blowjob position, is what I call it, like on her knees in front of him, fucking staring at him, just talking. And I was like, I don't like any of this. I'm like, this is awful. Oh my god.
There was a lot of stuff that people, throwing it back to the aughts, because that's when I was, becoming an adult and going to a lot of parties and stuff. And so there was a lot of things that, like, I could sit here and be like, well, women were doing this. And so I there's a chicken and an egg scenario there, and I think we all just have to stop back and be like, you know what? Let's not blame each other. Let's just go forward better. And probably don't get in the BJ position.
Yeah.
By the way, here comes the point of the movie's coming up. Not that, but kind of.
Is it about assertiveness?
So they're planning. This is like a Rigoletto Roxanne situation. So he's beefing him up. They're planning. He's going to go to the prom with Lorraine, and then she's going to get aggressive, and then Marty's going to also get aggressive too, and then he's going to show up and snatch Marty out the car and be like, "Get your damn hands off her." He's going to teach his dad how to be him, man. You put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. That's the point of this movie right here.
I like it.
Mm-hmm. And they're right. He's 1,000% right. I wish I would have taken that advice when I first heard it. I wish I would have tried more things. Look at his suit.
Same.
He's slaying. God.
It's a suit for a high schooler, all right.
Yeah, man. He's at least as tall as one. He's a short king. Short king. Big king, little short.
I didn't realize earlier when I pointed out the dilapidated building they were in front of that was also the clock tower.
Yeah, yep. And all of those things on the street are like porn theaters and adult bookstores and payday loans and just nasty stuff. In the 20s,
town square.
Oh man, the 20s, the diner was a soup kitchen. So
there's a record store.
Yeah. So what I learned from so here he goes again. He's trying to bring it up again.
So something that Michael and I frequently discuss is that in situations where it's like, hey, you really shouldn't tell me this because it's dangerous, like it could cause us to die, we're like, agree, like, no, we're not going to argue about it, don't tell me. Like, there's no, why would no, I don't fucking care, don't tell me. You can't.
I have a handful of friends that I can trust to do this, and I've only ever had to do it a couple of times, but there have been times in my life where I've gone, hey, I'm going to have to tell, or no, we set up sort of a rule beforehand. If I tell you we need to leave right now, I'll tell you later.
Yeah,
there will be a later if we leave. I promise I won't make you look stupid. Just understand, trust me, is what I'm asking for.
Also, if I am turning into a zombie, kill me.
This cop. Oh, yeah, totally. If I start going, go ahead and blast me. Yeah, absolutely. I got you. As soon as I see the green going up your arm, blip, you got it, dog.
You know I love you. We're good.
I'll let you say bye to whoever, but I'm going to give you like a hot 30 seconds because I don't know what director we're in. You know what I mean?
What?
Marvin Berry. An interesting name, huh? Just think about it. You'll get there. You probably know this scene. It's coming.
Chuck Berry.
Chuck Berry. That's an interesting call.
Is this not the one that has the payphone with the? Okay.
Well, I think it's like a red phone. It's just a random
also,
phone.
Does anybody become their own grandpa in this one?
Spoilers.
No, well, the movie The Stupid, starring Tom Arnold, has the song "I'm My Own Grandpa."
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But that's not about time travel.
Arnold.
He's just singing about a really.
Well, do you believe in Marty? If Marty succeeds, he gets his folks together. He doesn't have to hook up with his mom. Kills Biff.
Doesn't have to hook up with his mom.
Well, he's about to have to. These car doors are hard to get out of back then. They'll just like stick on you, man. Then those glasses like double paned. Like, what were we thinking back then? Oh, look at her. She's about to get it.
Do you think so?
Never parked.
Right?
I guess my question. Oh shit.
Now, I will say this. We have to think of time as a force, almost like wind or like a tornado or something. Like it's nature. It does have its own defense mechanisms. Time doesn't necessarily want to change. So they do it. They're not completely under the gun. But honestly, the only times that they are under the gun is when they try to rely on the human-made technology, like the car fails, they don't have plutonium, they don't, all this stuff is man-made stuff, which I think a lot. Another French person, I think he's French, Charles Babbage, the guy that made the first computer. He talked about the unerring certainty of machines, and I talk about this when I talk about why I like cars, because we as humans can't make things that are perfect, so we make stuff that can make perfect things, and when they have foibles or flaws like a car does a lot of times, because it's so many different working parts from different countries, different continents, and so of course it's going to have little quirks, and that's what makes it more human. And that's what cars are pain, like loving them breaking. My favorite types of cars are Nissan Z's, and they will break your heart all the time, man. So I just lean into it. And yeah, so Lorraine and the girls are out now.
I was gonna say he underestimated her.
Well, where does he get his bardness from? It's not her dad, not his dad.
That's a good point.
Yeah, man. Oh, gee, don't look down.
Oh.
I think that proves the point that most of us really try not to. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's going to need therapy when it's invented. I mean, I know therapy exists, but like, they had a rough patch in the 90s where stand-up comedians really drug it through the mud, so. Oh, look at here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Close.
So you see, time doesn't want itself to get screwed up either.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. There's trouble.
Oh shit.
$300. That was like $1,000 back then to now. Maybe more.
That's cheap for that kind of a cleanup.
To get it was $300 to get my car detailed now, and it wasn't full of cow poo or horse poo. So yeah, it is Billy Zane. Oh man, he stands out so much more in the second one. That's why I think they keep. It might be all three the same, but it's definitely the same with the 3D guy.
Yeah, I love the commitment he has. Do you think that was
really
an actor's choice?
For a while, man.
Yeah,
I tried a whole day, and it was
especially at night. He would be having a hard time.
Now here's a part that doesn't age well, but it's accurate to what would have been said.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, y'all don't. Yeah.
They just threw him in a random
what?
trunk.
They did. It was just open. Well, it's the musicians. They're musicians out there hotboxing the car.
Reefer addicts.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Well, that's where the band would be now.
Yeah.
The keys. Oh,
Do
no.
they not have
No, they
open it
don't.
from the cab even?
They don't have the thing. No, I had 2 keys for my 78 Malibu.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was rough, man. I had to learn how to take a whole seat out of the back of a car one time, man. I did not have the money for the locksmith. Oh, no. That's not Marty. That man ate Marty.
This is horrible.
I will also like to say that this stuff happened, and it's
all the time.
as serious as this is. And so I think it's good. I think it's good to see it.
Yes. Okay. See, I can be down with it when somebody stands up to the guy. Then it doesn't bug me.
Because if he sets his mind to it, he can accomplish anything.
Oh, maybe not.
That's how I punch. Yep. Exactly like that. It's real sad. Real, especially with the left. It's a real theater kid.
That's why
left.
you should just slap.
Dude, like in Roadhouse, Jesus, I love when he just slaps a man to the ground. He sliced his hand trying to get it open. Man, I had a gas cap not want to open, the gas door not open on my Scion up here in Wisconsin, and I was gonna be stranded if I didn't get it open. And I used a screwdriver, and man, I didn't do a good job at all. It was 10 degrees outside. Lesson learned. Look at this. There we go. Give him the jock, not the theater kid.
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
I'm dead. He threw him like a Moonanite.
Man.
Oh, his hand's broken.
Last week, too.
Yeah.
Biff was just like, "What's going on?
I know.
Oh,
What's he gonna do?"
She has been wet for a while, but like,
Let's go, George. Put that hand out to that woman and take her to the dance floor.
She's so easy.
I'm telling you though, she's me in the 1950s, except I would not take someone's pants off while they're unconscious.
Yeah. They're just a bunch of
If
dumb
a man
kids.
punched a jock who was assaulting me, I'd be like, no, we're fucking getting married right
I'd buy him a
now.
horse.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'd be like, we're gonna have
She
3
changes loyalty
kids.
so quickly.
But
If someone came out of nowhere and punched George for no reason, she'd probably be like, "Oh."
I can definitely, no offense, but I'm not saying that you're this way. I'm just saying I definitely know girls that definitely would absolutely be that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh man, he
Oh
shot
my
Marvin in the face.
gosh.
That's a different movie. That's Pulp Fiction. These guys are like, man, we're not stoned enough for this little kid. He's got that Riz, but he has to go play Earth Angel. I love that. I think that Gibson's out of I think it's anachronistic slightly, but it's okay. Who cares?
Yeah.
If they don't get Zippos right, we can be okay with that.
Marty's also anachronistic, so.
Technically, yeah, it's true. Although I think
I love that he
Earth
keeps
Angel.
staring at the picture.
I just need to hear it once. Give me the key. I could probably bang it out on the ukulele real quick if I needed to.
Yeah.
It's
I
only
wonder,
like 3 chords.
Would a picture stuck in there like that mess with the...
No, that's where I keep picks sometimes.
What the fuck?
Like they're thin
I guess
picks.
because it's over the top, yeah.
Yeah, once it's over the nut, it's you can't really mess with it. Especially not a picture, so. Man, we're counting on you, kid. The whole dance rests on you playing Earth Angel.
Why in the fuck is Marty not Marty, but George not doing anything
'Cause
about
he's a
this
wimp.
insane boy?
He's
He
scared.
just punched and like killed Biff.
Yeah,
Because he needs to re-roll with Bardic Inspiration.
That's true.
and
That's
Marty's
true.
not playing right now.
Oh my god.
How are they
going
gonna
to
get together if he's not playing Earth Angel?
Different layers.
That's when they kiss for the first time. Yeah.
He looks like
Now
he
he
was
just starts
taken over by a
punching
Green
people.
Goblin. I love her dress.
See what I mean? She's just down for whoever's doing violence more recently.
She was trying to get away from the other dude. The ginger.
She was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Aw.
You did it, Marty. Let's go, Marvin. Marty.
It does feel like Marvin understands the like what's on the line. I know Marty said it, but like
because he's
Marvin
a
gets
musician and he
it.
knows one good
Yeah.
song can change the world.
Right, I can barely even hear any guitar here.
Right.
It's important.
Now you hear that little strum.
Clown, 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 clown. Earth. I could do it. I could do it. I could do it too. Screw it. I'm as good of a guitarist as Barry McFly. Whatever. I'm not. Now, this is the part that a lot of people have a problem with in this movie. I'll talk about it in a minute.
Yeah,
I've sorted it out. I got this.
I get why.
I got it. I'm on it. I've watched this movie a couple times. I'm going to watch it in Japanese soon. This line.
Do you think? Oh, huh.
This is another requotable one.
Do you think Eric Stoltz has done this scene?
I don't think so. This feels like a later shoot.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chuck Berry wrote Johnny Be Good.
Oh.
Yeah, you see it. Let's go, Marty.
Yeah.
I like it when it's not the actor singing and it's like noticeably
it's
not
so
the
obvious.
But it's a good singing. It's this fucks. Like this shreds. When you were a kid watching this, it was just like, oh yeah, I get it. Can you imagine? I can't compare it to anything because even rap is more, in my opinion, mellow than when I was a kid. Like I'm trying to think of a music, maybe if like dubstep showed up when I was like a child, like that might have been radical.
Yeah.
But this in the 50s would have been like, how did he do? Because skiffle would have existed. And this would have been the closest thing to that. So I think I think the kids would have like acted that way. I don't think it's that far ahead of its time. Some of it's not that far.
Oh my God.
There's other part. This part.
Oh, it's a little.
Marvin Berry. Oh! Come on, Angus. So a lot of people have said, rock and roll is the white man stealing. Okay, so here's the deal. I find it hard to believe that because you either you think Chuck Berry was not talented, or you think he is, and he would have already been working on this. He actually says that you're looking for. In my opinion, this is the same as the flux capacitor. Doc already drew it. All Marty did was give Chuck Berry to know, because sometimes when you're making stuff, you're off in the weeds, man. I make some of these dumb shorts, and I'm like, I don't know if anyone's going to get this.
I legitimately, sorry, this is related. I had a client that I was reconnecting with who told me that when they were first seeing me for therapy, they had a moment where they were like talking to their future self. And then they recently had the moment where they felt like their future self connected with that. So yeah, it's just a continuity. I was talking a flat circle or whatever the fuck.
I think it was a couple of days ago. I was talking to somebody about, because I was talking to a friend that I hadn't talked to in a long time. And I'm very different than how I was. And so I was talking about how I kind of feel like the last, I don't know how many years, I've compared myself to an older version of me. I've talked to you guys about how when the day I turned 27 was the pinnacle of my life. I was I was carved out of wood. And I feel like I've been in a competition with that guy this whole time until a couple of years ago, I decided to kind of put both hands back on the wheel in life. And I feel like somewhere in January of this year, I felt like I could kick that guy's ass. And it felt really good. It felt really great. I like a lot of things about me now. And fuck that guy. He's an idiot. I'd take his lunch money. Now, this right here, I'm going to talk about this a lot, this scene right here. It's such a nothing scene. This scene is the only thing I would clip out. I'm sorry, Bob and Bob and Steve. But I would clip this out because you're just really dumb. So right here, he's trying to pad out his future a little bit. So you guys have never been together before, but if you have kids, and when they're at a very specific age, they set the rug on fire, go easy. How bad was the punishment that Marty wanted to ruin the space-time continuum to get out of? Did they send him to jail for setting the rug on fire? Did that ruin his life? And if it did, would he then make it there? Because he just screwed up again. And then she goes, Marty, what a nice name. Marty messed up so hard telling her his name was Marty because it makes no sense that they would name their third kid Marty. What realistically would have happened is Dave would have been Marty. But if he told his mom, yes, my name's Calvin Klein, his brother would be named Calvin Klein McFly. That would be the greatest time prank of all time. Anyway.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Time pranks.
Yeah, man.
That would be a great series.
I like the 80s had a lot.
Back in time and be like,
The 80s had a lot more good parents in movies. And what I enjoy about this is that his parents are kind of shitty, but they clearly did an okay-ish job because he turned out pretty good. But then he gets to go back and teach them. And it's like, oh, that's really what parenting is supposed to be. You're supposed to become a better person through teaching someone to not be a piece of shit.
He's also the baby. You gotta think about that too.
Yeah.
So like Dave already had a job, and I can't remember the daughter's name. Janet? Not Janet.
I don't remember.
Can't be Janet. But Marty is the baby. He's also the one that we see the most. We don't know how all the other sibs are outside of this, but we know that Marty has both of them in there. I just had a revelation about that in my own life, having part of my mom and my dad's side me. I'm not going to go that far into it. I'm not paying you. I don't have the cash. Now, this scene is buck wild as far as timing stuff goes. I'm just going to have to let this... we just got to get them home. Okay? Who cares?
With a lightning bolt.
Yeah. Let's just not worry about it. And let's just go home. There's more important stuff. Is his best friend. Think about Doc meeting the person that tells him everything's going to be okay. He has to wait 30 years. And when he meets him, he can't tell him. One of the X-Men movies deals with this, the one Days of Future Past. And
I really love Days of Future Past.
I like that one too. And when he shows up and when Logan's like, we got to talk about something, Charles like, I've been waiting. Like, yeah.
I loved it.
And he found
Is that sci-fi?
the damn letter. Is X-Men science fiction?
The day
movie?
where all of his memories just disappear because he's popped in from another timeline.
Yeah.
Oof.
I'm not good at knowing what sci-fi is.
What isn't sci-fi? You know, what isn't? Even Kevin Smith said Chasing Amy is science fiction because no lesbian would hook up with Ben Affleck if for no other reason than it is Ben Affleck. So,
Oh, no.
Marty handled his side of the plan, Doc. Doc, it's your turn, buddy.
I mean, if Marty hadn't been stalling there trying to tell Doc that he was dying, they would have been gone by now.
He slipped the letter, and then Doc had to come apart. This is on Doc. Look, tighten your shit up, dude.
Don't open until 1985 letter.
The Bard handled it. Now it's time for the Wizard to get on track, man.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. The Wizard had a mental breakdown.
And that's also
classic Wizard.
The reason he's able to just get in the courthouse and get up there so quick is because he worked at it as a kid. He worked in the patent office. His dad was the judge. Hated that he would want to be a scientist because it's the 20s.
Yeah,
and compared to a judge, yeah.
Most judges started in most towns. I'm coming to find out, learning about histories of towns and stuff because they had the money. And they knew all the laws and could get around stuff. And yeah, I remember that picture from the beginning. I think it was Buster Keaton hanging off the clock.
Oh yeah,
yeah, hoisted by his own petard, I'd say. Oh, that's where it is. Okay, I was talking to this scene with somebody the other day. He ends up no, it's not the rope. He ends up with something else that I don't know where it came from, but it's fine. There's a shot in this.
What the fuck, Marty?
What was it I was just watching that had this in it? Gosh darn it.
Billy, how do you transform?
How'd you morph, Billy? How'd you morph?
Oh no, Doc's gonna die again. And then Marty's stuck there forever of running from Biff. Who most assuredly will recover from his concussion. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot.
I know what it is.
I think it was in Roadhouse. It was in
Oh, those colors.
It was there's a scene where they burn down the bookstore and in the new Roadhouse, spoilers. And it's for every one of us has rights to that to watch that movie. I'm not gonna worry about spoiling that. But he has this moment where he changes, and then like one of the scenes after that's the one where he goes, "I'm angry," which I love that performance. But there's a look that he gives of, what have I been doing here? Like, do I believe in this shit that I've been saying? And I feel like everybody that tries to do something weird or out there needs to take a second and just be like, I got this. Like Marty was giving him he was gassing him up, but he ain't there right now. Marty's up the road. So he's got to decide, do I believe in this shit or not? You know?
You can tell when you have part of my job is helping people admit when they haven't fully committed to something. Because you know when you fully committed to something, and there's a resolve that comes with that.
100%.
Oh, it's very powerful.
Erin, that was on the Frosty the Snowman episode in Yummy, before I started doing this, she said, you just got to commit. And that's why I pull out the Southern Baptist preacher and race announcer and everything I got inside of me and say the dumbest shit. But commit. Yeah. Like, do it. Otherwise, you're going to mess up. And if while you're sitting on the bench, you ain't ready to play. He just now occurs to him he has all the time in the world, and he gives himself a few
fucking minutes.
Again, Bard, not a fighter.
Out of gas?
No, it just didn't crank because it's
okay.
Because John DeLorean should have sat down after the GTO, and the Chevelle, I think, was the last one he made before that. Those were fine. Let GM make the other parts. You just draw the outside, buddy. And probably don't take that deal. That's what I would do. I'd go back in time and I would stop John DeLorean, and then we'd have more of them, because they sold okay, and anything that has a first iteration's bad. Most game consoles have a bad first run. So like, it wasn't a terrible car. But it would have gotten better.
Oh no, I forgot what I was going to say.
The first Kias, people only bought them because 100,000 mile warranty. Now they're like luxury cars.
And they have a new impossible to read logo.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah, I thought that was a new company for a long time.
Looks like Nia.
Yeah.
Or Nin.
Yeah. Like it's my 9 Inch Nails car.
Yeah.
I would drive a 9 Inch Nails car.
Die so that Marty can go back 10 minutes.
But then I think it's to prevent him to die that he's going to go back 10 minutes. But he's also not dying.
That's not enough electrical tape.
That what the universe is telling him, that in addition to the 1.21 gigawatts, the universe requires a human sacrifice to go back in time.
It's a big deal going to that fourth dimension, man. He inspires the car to life. He's Fonzie.
And a Bard would have vehicle proficiency for no reason.
He'd at least have jack of all trades.
Yeah. That's Marty, man. All right.
He's got vehicle proficiency skateboard for sure.
Oh, that's right. Improvised vehicle. It's not enough electrical tape, dog. It looks like you did like one wrap around it.
Of cable he needs, and not a.
Yeah, you afraid you're gonna run out? Uh-oh. I think we got enough time. My earbud's about to
die. Movies are so bad about stretching this part out just a little too long.
It would take that car that long to get to 80, though.
I know, but I'm like, just let it get connected.
Here's the well, you got to believe in yourself.
It's like fucking Star Wars, A New Hope or whatever, where they fucking missed the shot the first 2 times. I was like, oh my fucking God,
that is unnecessary.
Go.
Look, he's got it. He's in the zone. He sees Marty coming. He's like, you know what? I'm going to ride the lightning straight down to hell. I don't know where that cable came from. That's not the rope. I don't. I guess he had it in his pocket.
Metal cable he had around.
I guess he should have put it on the line itself, and then he wouldn't. Whatever. I'm armchairing. Look at this. The man afraid to talk to women just did that. He talks about that in another movie about the women thing. But his invention's on fire now. This is so GD hype. He closes his eyes. It's not the time to do it. Boom.
Oh, he's fine. He's just fine.
It's still,
Okay.
this looks better than that movie I watched this past week, Late Night with the Devil. This looks better than that.
Yeah, that does look amazing.
And I'm
That
watching
really
the
is
standard
great.
def one. If you do the
Me too. Yeah.
I just did it because it's lower like bandwidth, but like the high defs, the Blu-rays, the upscaled look beautiful because they did a great job with the treatment on it. You know, what's the Michael? What's the thing? Junk in, junk out, or whatever. Programming, like if you put something bad in and then you whatever.
Junk in, junk out sounds like a appropriate phrase for that.
Mhm.
And now he's just got to wait 30 years to talk to his best friend again.
Yep.
Modern helicopter. They were steam powered back in the 50s.
Mm.
So his name's Red. And he's the town, the one homeless man they have. And they all know his name, yet no one will help him out.
That was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
Because then who would the town homeless man be?
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
Play your part. Red. He likes it. It's California. They got good weather.
That's true.
That's what my car looks like when I pull it into my garage
Mhm.
in Wisconsin.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, B of A. Be very of A. I stole that
Uh-huh.
from Doug Benson.
You dumb asshole.
Yeah, man. If only you had thought insulation, you know, tinfoil, a little strip of tinfoil could have saved so many problems. How are you ever going to catch up with that VW van that can't even go 90 and you don't have your skateboard?
Maybe a little more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, idiot.
Mm-hmm.
How about 10 hours?
You just hide from yourself for a couple of days. Now check out the sign when he gets up here to the edge of the run.
Lone Pine.
Not worth it. Not too many. Not worth it, guys. Y'all really wanted that joke in there, man.
I like it.
But he failed again. Now I want to bring up something interesting that through all of the movies, Marty is the only one that is not affected by time. Because you stay with this, like you're seeing the Marty that went through that other time, but that Marty went through time with the Lone Pines Mall at a minimum.
Oh,
Yeah.
So even if one little butterfly effecty thing, you know, this Marty that we're seeing is the true Time Lord because he's never altered, and he doesn't get a hero's journey until the next one, and it doesn't pay off until the third one, you know, trying to overcome his own problems. Yeah, this thing didn't make it. That's okay. I know this movie through a wall. I had to do that with the first one we did, Days of Thunder. I didn't know how to get the sound to work, so I'm like, I just know what all the sounds and music are. I've seen it too many times. And for that matter,
they also changed the timeline such that oh, well, no, I guess it did show the clock on the outside. It took them about 10 minutes to run to the mall.
Yeah. So that's another good point, too, because
did he get the letter?
This means that the original Doc, Marty's actual friend, never came back because this one is a different one.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But did the other one think to wear the bulletproof vest and is just
I don't believe
in his timeline now? Right.
That's what I assumed because I don't believe we ever saw blood, but I didn't check for. Oh wait, no.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess if we would have been patient for.
At a minimum, as a Doc Brown, I iterate. God damn it! I would read it immediately. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm riding the lightning at this point. Give me that letter. What's some lotto ticket numbers, man? I got a way to fix Biff. Let's go back and find him as a baby.
Did you say his reason? Well, I figured, what the hell?
Yeah.
About fucking up the space-time continuum and not learning about the future.
Well, I mean, he already knew a lot. That's the thing. You're already stepping on the door of it. And also 30 years, man. That's a long time to, You know, it's weird that he didn't just leave it on the ground because they loved littering back then.
Yeah.
I'm throwing pillows at a
A lot
cat
of
to make
papers
them not
getting thrown
jump
around.
on things, by the way.
Now, this is where you got a good parallel in the story because he says, "Where are you going?" And he goes, "Future." And he goes, "Figure 30 years, nice round number." And Marty says, "Look at me when you get there." So now he has to say bye to his best friend for 30 years.
Oh yeah.
It's heavy duty, Doc.
Yeah, that's pretty lame. Lame of the doc. Just bounce like that.
Well, hold on. It'll be okay. I promise. Murph, the cable, he just sat there and took it.
Yeah, he's on what I call cat probation, where he has to stay with me.
Doesn't seem like he minds it too much. It's not like he got the desired result.
He'll
If you're
get
asking
there.
me,
It's one step lower than cat jail.
blam down. Is it playing
Locked in a
Power of Love
bedroom.
right now?
I hope. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm good. I don't need the other earbud.
Mhm.
It's good to know when I finally go full on deaf, I can still enjoy some things. I love to, and this also points out the fact that he is a Time Lord. His room's exactly the same.
I was wrong. It was Back in Time. Is that the same one as? Wait, yeah, right.
Power of Love
That's
is probably you probably did Power of Love.
It was Get Back in Time, but I said Power of Love, and I think it's not Power of Love then.
Oh, was it
I don't know the
Take Me
lyrics.
Away? I don't mind. There's a ton of sleep. We're back in time.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, that one.
Look at them. They have clean clothes on. Also, there's natural light in there. They're eating fruit.
In fancy bowls.
And this is the part where Crispin Glover said that the reason that he didn't work on the second one was because of creative differences, because he didn't think it was a good message to say that as long as you have money, everything's going to be okay. Which is not the point of the movie, and that's not why he didn't work on it.
Not
he
at
asked
all.
for more money, and they didn't give it to him. And then he said a bunch of crap, disproving the thing that he said because he wanted more money, and then they killed his character. Don't mess with Bob Gale, Bob Zemeckis, or Steve Spielberg.
Also, yeah, money doesn't solve all your problems, but poverty makes them a hell of a lot worse.
Well, what I want to point out too is that they're still in the same neighborhood, but this house has been remodeled. And so there's a lot of people that question the events of like what's going on right now as to where their money came from. I don't think that they're rich right now. I think that what they are is that George had enough of the shit in him to like overcome Biff. And so I think that he's just a supervisor at that place they both work. And then because you think about it, he would have bought that house when they had Dave, and then he would, so like they talk about having a nicer car. A BMW at that time was not that BMW was not that much more than that station wagon they had. Like if you had a job that was another echelon, you could have afforded, it's still a one car family at this point. So I think it's perfectly reasonable that he's not rich. He's just higher up in middle class.
Yeah.
And don't let nobody say crap to you about chasing that paper. Get it. And everyone's going to hate you.
Owner.
Enjoy people hating you. Yeah, Biff's a business owner. That's true. He's not yet. That's a good point.
He's doing okay.
He's fine. And this is the thing people call out because they're like,
is this erotica?
No.
It looks like erotica.
Man, I've been hearing about smut here recently. Guys, man, people that are smut readers, you're interesting. Good for you. But now this.
It's wild.
And this is why people say that the point of the movie is money. But he didn't do any of that to get this. This is like a consolation prize.
One little side effect.
And he also sent his best friend away, man. Like, damn, let him have something. He worked hard.
Why is this the kind of vehicle that Marty McFly wanted?
Because he's a man, Michael. That's a Toyota Tacoma. That's the best off-road vehicle. Ask any terrorist. Because they all have them. They'll never end. You'll never kill a Toyota Taco. A Yoda Taco will keep going. It'll run over all the bugs that are left over.
A Yoda Taco.
Yeah, man. They're great. I almost died in the Forerunner version of one. It's totally fine.
Almost is the important word.
They're really easy to climb out of the windows. Surprisingly. Oh, man. But does he have to wait 30 years?
Oh, hell yeah.
Doc's got that Riz. Now, this is a joke that there's more than a couple of places Mr. Fusion, because there's also the Mr. whatever in Spaceballs, because apparently everybody just wanted to shit on Mr. Coffee. That was the biggest joke of the 80s was adding Mr. to a thing. I don't understand, but hey, here we are.
Just pour garbage in and get nuclear fusion.
Yeah, man. You got to iterate.
Was that Mr. Fusion?
Yeah, Mr. Fusion. Something's got to be done about your kids. I love I want like a huge thing of that license plate on my wall. Like put actual mirrors like up for it. That'd be pretty sick.
What?
So this part wasn't originally in it, and then they found out they were going to get to make another one, so then they did it, but it made it into it when the first run, and they didn't have anything ready for the second one, so
that's awesome.
So there's no follow-up on that whatsoever.
Yes, there is. The whole movie
they did end up doing it.
Okay, picks up right where this one ends off. All of them do.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's one contiguous story that wasn't planned that way.
Awesome.
So. Well, that's Back to the Future. There's no Nick Fury at the end of this. Sarah, I gotta know, man. What do you think about it?
I really enjoyed it, actually. I am incredibly pleasantly surprised. I did not expect myself to like that at all. I am a little unhappy about what this means for future movies I don't want to watch, where Michael will get to go, but remember Back to the Future? You did like Back to the Future, so like maybe you'll like this other movie, and I'll go blah.
We're gonna go watch Sunshine right now.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's like I liked the core, and so now it's like, well, the like Sunshine.
Sunshine is the core.
I did really like the core, by the way.
Very different reasons, though.
Yeah,
I've decided,
by
the
way,
way,
it is the same story. They're just doing it in space.
If I was
also, the core is basically a space movie.
If I was going to suggest a movie for you to watch after this one, it would be Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. It's a pretty easy one to
like
find.
Michael J. Fox. I forget that he is a pretty damn good actor. Actually,
he's sweet. He's genuine, and there's got aggressive women in it, so you can like throw shade at all of them. And there's a lot of doofy people, and it's fun. And it's not sci-fi at all. So that's my take on that. Michael, man, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked it.
Lives up to the hype. That holds up.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I gotta say, on the question of does it hold up, absolutely. That actually doesn't even have any questionable really moments besides what most movies do, which is excuse certain things.
Yeah,
certain sexual harassment things.
But some of them try to sweep it under the rug. Some of them just want to pretend they're not there, Tay-Tay. I need to stop making fun of that girl. She has more talent. She's got more talent in her pinky nail, the part she would cut off, than I have in my entire life. So I need to shut up. I'm just hating. So, well, I can't thank you guys enough for sticking through it, breaking and messing up like I always do. And thanks for like helping. You gave me another level of enjoyment because now I got to go back and really watch it, knowing that I'm Doc.
Yes, I'm so happy we came to that realization.
Because I knew I wasn't Marty. I never thought I was Marty. I definitely would have benefited from having a Marty. I have Martys in my life for sure. I take lessons from Marty, like about being there for people and about their interest. Like when he's talking to his dad and he's like, "Get out of here! I didn't know you were creative." I literally, from the time I was born until I guess I would have been 20 years old. So in 2004, somebody told me that I was creative. I had a friend that was making a movie, and I couldn't make it for this casting call he was doing. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm working, man." He said, "Well, hey, how about this? I'll come over. I'll bring the script. I'll give you a casting couch audition," as a joke. He was saying that jokingly, but he said, "I'll come by and show you what I've been working on because I'm really excited about it." He knew that I had done some video stuff in high school. I just didn't think I was creative doing that stuff. I thought I was copying people. I thought I was just killing time. Like I did magic from the age of 7 to 13. I didn't think I was creative. When I got out of high school, my plan was to start a family. I got a job at a factory because that's how you made money where I'm from. All the people that worked at factories had the good cars. So I was going to try to do that. And then this buddy of mine came over and he handed me the script he'd been working on. And it's, again, 2004. Like it's not, we didn't have Google, I don't think. Like I think we were still asking Jeeves. So he hands it to me. I'm like, cool.
The encyclopedias.
Exactly. And one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, which I also regret every time I move, is the $5 bin at Walmart. And I've always loved movies that much. That was my only thing, my only vice at the time, because I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, do drugs or anything. Hey, I'm reading through the script, and as I start, I grab a pack of Post-it notes, and I'm like, this scene, you should do this shot from this movie. And I just started writing out shots, and I would stick them in the thing, and then I pulled off a bunch of DVDs off the shelf, and I put them in a little bag together. together. And the next day I was like, here, take a look at these if you want. You don't have to use them. I'm not trying to get in your lane, but if you're having trouble picking out the shots, here's just some, this is what I saw when I read your writing. And he was just like, you know what shots are? And so that started me on a path of somebody saying you are creative. And I just have not taken my foot off the gas since. So
love it.
Thank you guys for joining me for this.
Of course. Thank you for having us. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm happy to say that I got to watch the first one as well, even though I've already forgotten the name of it.
The first.
Oh, Trip to the Moon.
Trip to the Moon.
Yeah, Trip to the Moon. Yeah, I already forgot the name of it, but I enjoyed it. Oh, other sci-fi movie I liked, Moon.
Oh,
I enjoyed
Moon.
that.
Sam Rockwell, man.
But I love Sam Rockwell. Yeah, he's excellent. Absolutely
that guy
excellent.
Did another one. What'd the Moon guy do? That's not Alex Garland.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Is that the same one?
Sam Rockwell?
Oh, I meant I'm sorry, the director. I'm sorry. But yeah, yes. Vama Kavula! Oh, it's a guy. I thought he was swearing. Okay.
Yeah, I got to get out of here and tend to these cats. It's their treat time and they're losing it.
Well, yeah, we talked over it.